leave you up?
Well, we can. He just said, I just asked him, I said, do I have to be on camera for the whole show? Because, I got to wipe my nose. It's uncomfortable for nobody.
We are live right now on.
Nobody in the world of television is on camera for
the whole
3.5 hours. They just aren't.
Yeah.
People don't see when the camera goes off.
And now,
100 people come out and change their coffee.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. Welcome into the Paul W. Smith Show on News Talk 760 WJR, the great voice of the Great Lakes. It is Monday, September 14th, the 258th day of 2020. There are 108 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And the team is mostly together via 760 on the AM dial and via StreamYard and all of the social media platforms you usually get your stuff on, like YouTube and Facebook and all of that. And the team. Well, Dick Hafner is here in spirit and in good voice. I'll test it. Dick, you're there, aren't you?
Good morning, Paul W.
There you go. The man behind the black screen with the WJR dot. Dick Hafner, our news director, is here. Dana Clark, who will check traffic, weather, and in her jammies because it's DJ Monday.
Yes.
Am I in my little sleep shirt? Dana Clark is here. Dana, you had a good weekend, I hope.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Brian Morton back in the booth in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. Thank you, Curtis Paul, for your additional help. I am broadcasting from Toledo. Jamie is here for Belmont Golf and Country Club for the Toledo Open. So we're following him along the way in his career in golf. And toes up would be his mama, getting a little sleep in before heading out on the 18 holes for the golf course at Belmont Golf and Country Club. And the woman of the hour, who had a family wedding and survived to tell about it.
That looks good.
Although she's in quarantine now.
What?
Our executive producer, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Monday.
Is he making that up, the quarantine part?
Yes, I make most everything I say. So,
I just roll with them.
Yeah. So she had a limited wedding like anyone would now, given these days. And I was just telling you a story that I went to a wedding, and as it turned out, I had to work that Saturday. I had a Victor's Roofing broadcast, which, by the way, Ann has used Victor's Roofing and just went on and on and on, did her own little commercial for him. Loved it.
I could do a commercial.
Well, there you are. So, but I called the people and said, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to make it to church, but I'll be able to come out later for the little reception. And they said, oh, thank goodness.
Wow.
There's a limit to the number of people who can be at church.
Yeah.
And so I was doing them a favor by not being able to go to church.
Wow, that's interesting.
I never thought of that. So Ann was saying, I don't know if you had a limit, but everyone had masks and, the whole deal.
Exactly. So
in church.
We were at Blessed Sacrament.
And Brian, when it was all over, had actually married the wrong woman. And
that would be something.
She had a mask on, took it off, said, who the heck are you? She said, who the heck are you? But they liked each other. And so they said, we're married.
It's funny, though. You have to have a mask to match your nice outfit.
Of course.
You can't just go walking down in just any old mask.
No.
Kim has been doing that for a while. She has these little sparkly. She has a whole bunch of masks, way more than me. And I had this box of masks, and I've been using them. And then I just read on it, said, do not use more than once.
I know the ones you're talking about.
So there was the newspaper did a big full page ad. I have it here somewhere not full page ad, but full page story on masks, and they judged them like the New York Times or somebody. So I'm going to order some of those masks because they put best this, best that. I just want it to really work. Does that make sense?
Yes, most certainly.
That makes sense. Let's take care of a little business here at 5:43 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Invisible Fence brand is offering $150 off their exclusive Boundary Plus technology, so more pets can safely enjoy the freedom of their yard. Visit InvisibleFence.com to schedule your free consultation. That's InvisibleFence.com. InvisibleFence.com.
5:44, we've got our WJR traffic and weather first. Miss Dana Clark.
Unfortunately, starting off this Monday morning with an accident. Traffic First sponsored by Shelving.com. Shelving.com has a wide selection of Metro brand shelving and storage products now offered at new lower prices, from their popular chrome wire shelving to antimicrobial Metro Max unit. Shelving.com is the best spot to shop for your Metro product needs. This is Shelving.com. We rack your world. 94 westbound at Mount Elliott. Accident is blocking the left lane. Also, right shoulder is blocked. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Detroit VA Healthcare System. Veterans, the Detroit VA Healthcare System reminds you to not let COVID-19 postpone your healthcare needs. The Detroit VA is ready to care for you in their medical facilities and through online video visits. To learn more, visit detroit.va.gov.
A little cooler here to start off the work week. Mostly sunny skies today. A light north to northeast breeze. Upper 60s to near 70 this afternoon. Clear, cool tonight, 48. Sunny and low 70s Tuesday. Partly cloudy, upper 70s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
We're on Facebook and YouTube for most of the morning, I think. Annie, isn't that right? Most of the morning, Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, we're going to give
find it on camera and on air, of course, 760 WJR. Hope some of our old Toledo friends are tuned in, since I'm in the Toledo area, Rossford and Perrysburg at the Staybridge Suites, in fact, and going to Jamie's golf tournament at Belmont Golf and Country Club, or maybe it's just called Belmont Country Club, the Toledo Open, and looking forward to saying hi to the pro there at Belmont, Van Brandt, who's actually competing in the senior division. So give Van Brandt your best wishes and wish him well. Meanwhile, Rush Limbaugh joins us Monday through Friday from noon to 3, best he can, and always right here first thing in the morning, right now at 5:46. Rush?
Now, this is incredible. A Long Island, New York high school student has been arrested because he showed up to go to school. 17-year-old Maverick Stowe attended William Floyd High School for 5 days in a row, and by doing so, he committed a criminal act. Young Maverick was supposed to stay home for a designated remote learning day, but he said, I got to go to class. Maverick Stowe was not putting anybody in danger when he showed up. His temperature was taken. He was fine. His first period teacher discovered he was supposed to be at home, so school administrators suspended him for 5 days. Maverick ignored the suspension. He showed up at school in person again, so they called the cops. He was arrested for trespassing, the school district pressing charges. School bosses accused Maverick Stowe of being selfish and irresponsible for showing up at school in person, the school his parents pay taxes for. Now, this is what it's like living in liberal America today. You can riot in the street, you can loot, burn, vandalize businesses, you can assault cops. Nothing happens to you. But if you dare attend school in person because you want to pursue your education, you get arrested as a criminal. This is Democrat Party America, Joe Biden America. God help us if these people win. Oh, my God, I can't think of it.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
There's Dick. Good morning.
Yeah, I
Dick.
saw him come up in the middle of that. We're happy to see you, Richard.
And you still have your Lions
Very
hat
happy
on,
to be
Dick.
here.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Look at Dick.
I had
Isn't there
forgotten. I had worked so hard to forget about that Lions game. And now you just said it, and now I see it, and it's just, there's no good word that you can use on the radio to describe that Lions game.
Ridiculous.
It's a nasty flashback.
Yeah.
It is a nasty
flashback.
flashback. It is. How could I allow myself to get so excited in the first 3 quarters of a game that I thought, oh my God, we're going to start this. Last season, we only had 3 wins. We're going to start the year off with a win. This is spectacular. And beating the Bears after all this time. Oh my God. What an idiot I am.
One play. All Swift had to do was catch the ball, and he's talking about how Matt Stafford is a hero, and he's a hero, and the Lions are on their way. One play. One play.
Well,
and
I just want to say something. Yes, that was horrible, and he will never forget it for the rest of his life. However, the Lions should never have been in a position to depend on one play at the end of the game when they were leading by 21 for 3 quarters, and they were leading by 21 going into the 4th quarter. Is that right? Am I remembering this right? Or is that a bad nightmare?
Yeah. The Bears took total control in the entire 4th quarter. Yep.
That happened all last year, too.
It happened all last year.
Especially right at the end. Yeah.
I was convinced. Well, how many games were they leading that they lost?
A lot, a ton.
All of them. Yeah. All of them almost. And I kidded myself. I believed that it wasn't going to be the same. I believed it wasn't going to be. And there were glimmers of excitement and hope. Well, be that as it may, we'll hear from
Paul. That was the exact reaction that I saw yesterday on social media. People felt the exact way that you feel.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, that was all my feelings because I didn't go on social media to look because I could only imagine.
They were distressed.
Also, ugly.
What's the problem, though? Like, why is this? Why is that happening like that?
I don't know anything about this stuff, but I heard Sean Baligian and Steve Courtney yesterday say, I guess these are guarded terms, but they would say, maybe it makes me wonder if we have the right people in place. Well, that means they don't think that the right people are in place, and the people they're talking about would be the general manager and the coach. I mean, who else are they talking about? I don't know. I don't make those determinations or even think in those terms because I don't know. I feel bad for everybody that does poorly.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
5:51 in our Monday morning together. I hope that you all had a spectacular weekend. If you're not football fans of the Detroit Lions, you had a great weekend. If you are football fans of our beloved Detroit Lions, not so much. And I'm putting lipstick on that pig. Here's what I didn't want to hear, and how could you not hear it? I didn't want to hear, here we go again. I didn't want to hear that this year.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you guys don't have guns, and I said, please don't shoot me.
That's right. Right.
Just let's think of good, positive things. Oh, let's think of
right. It takes a minute to.
Annie and her little boy Brian.
That's positive.
There was the wedding. And little boy Brian with
little baby
full beard.
Yes,
and
looking like a grown man.
The couple looked beautiful. It was, under the toughest conditions. You had a great wedding, and all on we saw the kids posted a lot on Instagram.
Oh yes, right. It'll be interesting to see down the road. They postponed the reception until next year, but it'll be interesting to see at what point will we be able to have a big event inside.
In the year 2525, if man is still alive.
I'm afraid Paul might be right.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people are having to do this with everything, right?
Oh, everything. Yeah. It's all, yeah.
So did you see that story about the Delta flight? Another flight had to turn back around and go back to the gate because one passenger wouldn't leave her mask on.
I would charge.
I would too.
I would charge that passenger the cost of that turnaround and re-landing.
Yeah.
There's a landing fee. There's a fuel fee. There's all kinds of things. And all those other people who are inconvenienced by that selfish passenger.
Now, I think this flight didn't actually take off. I think it got all the way out there. But Paul's right. It's still, they were delayed when they landed in LA. So it was from Detroit to LA. The person wore her mask, did everything right, got to her seat, took it off, and refused to put it back on. Why? What's the point?
Right? Exactly. What's the point? What are you trying to do? You want to get there too, just like everybody else.
Sometimes a mask is just a mask. It became politicized, and it shouldn't have. And our president should have been suggesting people wear masks from the beginning. He did not. And there it became a political hot potato. It's not politics. It's unfortunately the best way we know of to prevent the spread of a virus, whatever the virus would be, whether it's a boogeyman virus or a real virus. I don't care. It is a virus, and it is killing people. Is it killing more people than the flu overall? Probably not. More people than TB? Probably not. More people than cancer? Absolutely not. More people than heart attacks? Absolutely not. I know it's been politicized. I know it's been used to try to get rid of Donald Trump because everything has been used. The Russian collusion, the Ukraine phone call. Go through the list. I don't want to go through the list. But the fact of the matter is, regardless of the politics, you can die if you get this virus, just like you can die if you get bad flu. And we try to do things so you don't get bad flu. That's why there are vaccinations. And I'm so tired.
Just ridiculous.
Tired
Some
of
people
saying this
don't want to
for
listen.
months. Saying it for months. I'm tired of it.
But there was a big event last night, a big rally in Las Vegas, and it was the first indoor rally in a few months for the president. And a lot of those people did not have masks on, and they were very close. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, what school is quarantined, Dick? Is it MSU?
Michigan State.
Yeah, look at what happened there.
Michigan State. Outbreak.
Which what should be expected. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. And
We're
gonna hear
exhausted
about
now.
that. Yeah.
Going back to bed.
I'm going. My bed is very close here in this hotel room.
Roll over.
In fact, Kim is still in bed and she's sending me notes. She's sending me notes, so she's not sleeping.
Michigan State coronavirus. President Trump doesn't wear his mask, and the Lions lose. That's our headlines today.
We're done.
And it's Monday.
What
else? I don't know what else. All right. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Invisible Fence brand is offering $150 off their exclusive Boundary Plus technology, so more pets can safely enjoy the freedom of their yard. Visit InvisibleFence.com to schedule your free consultation. That's InvisibleFence.com. InvisibleFence.com.
And we've got it at 5:57. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first, Miss Dana Clark.
Now, we need a win from Jamie. This could turn everything around. And this is what we're counting on. So, Jamie, do your thing today. An accident 94 westbound at Mount Elliott blocks the left lane, seeing delays from at least Van Dyke. That collision also blocking the right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Super Car Wash. Join Super Car Wash's Unlimited Wash Club, and you can wash every day for as low as $12.95 a month at all 11 locations. It's quick, easy, contactless, including free vacuums and free hand towel dry. That's Super Car Wash with 11 locations. Look super go unlimited today. It's going to be a great forecast today. Lots and lots of sunshine. It's going to be dry, feel comfortable, a high of 68. Tonight, clear skies, low 49. More sunshine on Tuesday, a high of 72. And then on hump day, lots of sunshine once again, a high of 79. Clear skies, 59 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So, Annie, they're obviously not going on a honeymoon right now, right? Or what did they?
No, they actually went up to Mackinac for a couple days.
Oh, good. Right. It's like you should do something, but it has to be scaled down a little bit. But
they were planning on going to Italy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yes.
But one thing I wanted to mention to Paul is, so you have close to 200,000 people who have died, and that's in the United States, and that's with restrictions, right?
Right.
Some restrictions.
Right.
Can you imagine?
No.
You didn't have any restrictions. What
No.
this thing would have done?
It would be double.
And we're only at 6 months, so it's
Only.
definitely much more contagious.
It's gonna hit over 200.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get stuck.
What are you talking about?
Just how contagious coronavirus is. It's much more contagious than anything we've seen in a very long time.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Hey, we should remind our people who have joined us on Facebook and YouTube and all that we'll be on this all morning long just for technical reasons. But read, not on the air, Ann, but read what Curtis says about that, because he sent us an email. Because I had mentioned to him I wasn't sure about it all. But anyway, we're in our sleep stuff. It's a sleep shirt. You got Dana with a robe. Ann sleeps fully dressed at all times.
Just so she can be ready.
So she's ready. She's executive producer.
She's always ready.
It's like many, many years ago, we were at one of the auto shows, maybe Paris, maybe, I don't know where it was. I'm going to say Paris. It was Paris. And the DADA guys, Rod Alberts and the whole team, and Mark Snethkamp was there. In fact, we were out to dinner, and they used to take the mayor on one of those international shows, and they took Mayor Dennis Archer and his lovely wife, Judge Trudy. And we're sitting in a beautiful, I think it was the Ritz in Paris. The Ritz in Paris. It's a beautiful place, and we're having cocktails. And I noticed that the mayor was not drinking at all. And I said, Mr. Mayor, do you not drink? And he says, no, I'll enjoy a cocktail, whatever. And I said, but you're not drinking tonight. And he goes, oh, no, even if I'm on the road, I'm mayor, and I might get a call, especially with the time change and all that. And I want to make sure that I'm clear thinking.
That's true.
Thought, wow, I mean, think about that. So that's what led me to think that Ann is fully dressed at all times. If she gets the call as executive producer, quick, there's a program emergency.
Right. She jumps up.
Dick's camera's not working, which is a different radio problem than she ever had in all of her 40 years or however long the heck I don't want to use anything over 40 because you're not that old, but years of broadcasting. Think of the current day radio problems. What should I wear for the show tomorrow?
Right.
I went into radio. I did television. I loved television. I love radio. I love radio more, but I used to do a television show all the time. But radio, you don't have to worry about. Well, you never used to have to worry about what your hair looks like or your anything. And it's changed. But I feel attached to our people that tune in on social media, because it's a whole new experience for them and for us. And Bob and Don and Ron, can they see the names themselves up on their screens? I don't know how this works.
Good question. I think they can, because they can chat back and forth with each other.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Patrick, Mike.
Yeah, they say good morning to each other and talk about whatever we're talking about.
Kathy, Bill, Ron, Maria, Russ, Patricia, another Bill, and James and David, and seems like more today.
Yes, there's quite a crowd this morning for a Monday
Patrick,
morning.
James, Ron.
You know, it's interesting. One of James says Western had to postpone their football, I think it was. Is that what he's saying? Western football had to postpone. Isn't that interesting? Because I don't think a decision was made yesterday, but the Big Ten is talking. And they're talking about now starting again.
There's pressure on the Big Ten. Maria is asking, what does Paul really have in that coffee cup this morning?
I know, right?
LOL. Well, first of all, I got a pretty good sleep last night. I got 4 straight hours.
Sure you would not sleep.
No, I got 4 pretty good straight hours.
That's good.
It's shocking.
Kim, are you all right?
Oh, goodness. We have an on-air emergency.
I did hear a bang.
And there's an emergency. I don't know what happened, but as long as she doesn't drop her hairdryer in the bathtub or something, that's
that would not be.
James and Don. Oh, it keeps changing. Bill, Stacy.
Stacy likes watching us.
Yeah, I see that. And Bill is one of Paul's pals. Oh, these are Paul's pals. Good. Thank you, Bill, for that. That's a good name for the group. The whole team's pals are here. Bill says, yes, we can see you. Paul, you still don't care what your hair looks like. Wait a minute.
I think you look nice today.
I think that's a put down, though. I do believe it's put
Shade.
down. But I did
Throwing shade.
I did look at myself in the mirror, something I try not to do too often. And my hair, besides getting a bigger and bigger forehead, is a mess. And I think I should never have gotten it cut. I've only had it cut once in 6 months. And I think I liked it when it was just longer everywhere, because now it's cut and now it seems like it's overgrown because it was, it was nicely cut. Ginny, haircut it to the stars, did a nice job. She also trimmed my beard, which made it look better, but it meant then I had to shave underneath here, and the whole point was not shaving at all. So I went back to shaving totally. And I like myself. I feel like myself more without the beard. But the hair is an issue right now. And Dana, your hair, you change your hair almost every day.
I try to. I'm trying to think of different ways to do a wash and go, meaning I don't blow dry it. I just
the easier the better.
Try to make it curly, and just
and Dick wisely wears that lion's cap. Oh, I didn't mean to say the word, but Dick wears that.
Oh, there he is.
I was just going to say, I keep forgetting if Dick has hair or not. What's that?
I don't change it very often. Excuse me, I'm getting it's kind of a draft in here.
You better put that hat back on.
Because it just feels like it's the same day over and over again anyway, Dick. So I think you're on to something. We just
now, do you shave that? Do you shave that, Dick?
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
6:06 on a Monday morning. Good Monday morning to you. It is the 14th of September, the 258th day of 2020. There are 108 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and we're so happy you're with us Monday through Friday from 5:30 till 9 on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR. The team is here. Dick Hafner. And for those who are watching on Facebook or however else you see us, and those listening in now at 760 on the AM dial, I was just asking during the break, Dick Hafner, we were all talking about our hair. Mine's a mess. Dana's is different every day. Ann's is pretty much the same every day. You don't have to do too much with that. And I forgot if Dick had hair or not because he has a hat on all the time. He revealed that in fact he's revealing again. He has no hair, and he's got a.
Let's get rid of that lion.
Oh no, John! We still are standing by our lions. We just hate them right now. But anyway, we don't hate them. But as Sophie used to say as a little girl, Daddy, we don't use the word hate. And I was happy because I had just used a much worse expletive to yell at a driver who almost killed us. And then I realized, oh my God, Sophie's in her little car seat in the back, and she just heard me say that expletive, and I yelled something of hate and something bad, and she said, "Daddy," and I thought, oh boy, this is going to go back to her mother, and I'm going to be in big trouble. She said, "Daddy, we don't use the word hate," and I went, "Oh, thank God, that's all she got out of that." Anyway, I had asked Dick if he shaved his head, and you said no. It was noisy. I couldn't hear. You said no.
No.
Okay, because a lot of guys do. Look at like Link Bessert. Link, one of our top sales guys, big tall guy, bald head, shaves his head. He has to. Eric Granowitz shaves his head. One of our old engineers on the road. So I'm sure you get used to it, but it seems like it would be very difficult to shave your head without cutting yourself, and
Maybe I just will not give up.
Yeah, well, you're thinking it could come back. Have you seen those hats that have lights in them or something, and they're very expensive, and you put them on, and supposedly it helps grow your hair back? I don't know if any of this stuff works. I don't have any idea.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Right.
Bill says that's a better look, Dick.
I've had friends say, "Have you thought about this?" Is way back when, but you're starting to lose your hair up here. Have you thought about getting those things, whatever that plugs? And I go, those people look like they're a farmer's field to me.
It does.
At first. Hey, the crops are coming in real nice. What do you got going there? Corn? It's just not for me. It's not for me. No. Did I tell you the story about when I was in New York? WABC and the ABC television network and I were talking about doing a game show or something. And I met with the woman. I can't think of her name. She wrote a book about being an actor and doing all these things. And she said, well, you're going to have to shave off your mustache and dye your hair. Because way back then, I still had white hair. I've had white hair forever. And she said, you're going to have to dye your hair and shave the mustache. And I said, well, what are you talking about? Johnny Carson has white hair. He let his hair go natural. And then I named, Alex Trebek has a mustache. Whatever I said all the, yes, but they're established. Starting out, you have to wear the uniform. So I went out to dinner with she and her husband, and I had my full mustache. And during the dinner, in between like the appetizer or the salad and the entree, I said, excuse me 1 second. I went down into the bathroom in this restaurant in New York City, and I shaved off my mustache right there in the men's room. Could only imagine what that looked like with guys coming in, but I shaved off my mustache. I came back up to finish dinner, and not one of them noticed. Wow. I no longer had a mustache. Didn't notice. And I said, you know what? Remember how important you said it was that I shave my mustache and I dye my hair? I came into dinner with a mustache, and I don't have a mustache now, and neither one of you noticed. By the way, I don't suggest doing this if you really want the job.
So we're with some pretty self-absorbed people, weren't you?
Yeah, yes. So I said, I don't have a mustache now. Oh, did you wear a fake mustache to dinner? And I went, no, I wore my mustache that I had in your office that you told me I had to get rid of. I just got rid of it, and you didn't notice. Oh, that wasn't a good move job-wise, but I felt better. And I only dyed my hair once, and I hated it beyond belief. I looked at myself in the mirror every morning. I'm brushing my teeth, and I go, who the heck is that? Who the heck is that? And, when you have white hair and it starts to grow back out, because there's nothing you can do. If you want your hair to be back to what it was, it's got to grow out, and you got big lines, where everything is. It was a bad experience all the way around. Anyway, so I'm in Toledo at Staybridge.
Now they call it streaking.
Streaking. Now it's part of the deal. Yeah. When did that happen where, women with blonde hair would have these dark roots that they used to fight terribly to get rid of? Now they appear to be part of the look. Is that true, or am I hallucinating?
No, that's true. That is absolutely true.
Nancy Pelosi doesn't want them.
Nancy Pelosi.
That's kind of the style.
No
now.
roots for her.
We were talking earlier about apparently now the boys rather than just whipping it out and comparing, the two presidential candidates now are saying who's in better shape.
Oh, Lord. They should have a push-up contest.
No, we should find out which one of them needs more prunes than the other one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and germs.
Kicking off Monday morning.
Try the veal.
Right.
It
Tip
is
the waitress.
It is. You mean wait staff? It is 6:13 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. At MGM Grand Detroit, they can't wait to see you again. They look a little different as they've made changes for your health and safety to ensure your visit will still be a grand time. They hope to see you soon. And remember to always mask up. 21 plus.
At WJR Traffic and Weather first, Miss Dana.
Traffic First, sponsored by AARP Michigan. ARP is fighting to lift the voices of African American women across Michigan and holding a virtual event called My Sisters and Friends Conversations that count on September 17th. Help the ARP create a healthy and wealthy agenda for women over 50 on the 17th. RSVP at aarp.org/MI. Earlier accident 94 westbound between Mount Elliott and Shane. That one is clear, seeing delays from at least Van Dyke. Also a slow ride for trucks, 30-minute backup across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Shelving.com has a wide selection of Metro brand shelving and storage products now offered at new lower prices, from their popular chrome wire shelving to antimicrobial Metro Max units. Shelving.com is the best spot to shop for your Metro product needs. At Shelving.com, we rack your world.
High pressure builds in here for the start of the week. Sunny and a little cooler today, close to 70 this afternoon. Clear and cool tonight, 48. Sunshine, low 70s Tuesday. Sunny, mid to upper 70s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on Newstalk 760 WJR.
So, Dubster.
Yes, ma'am. You see what Brian just wrote?
On the...
Well, he just read it to me. Oh, let me see.
Maybe he's going to play a spot, but then he wants you to do the Blue Cross Live.
I don't know. I didn't see that. Oh, there it is. Would you give me the Blue Cross Live?
So out of this
okay, so I'm going to have to leave
Blue
that
Cross
up all the time. That's the only way he has to communicate with me. I thought he could talk to me. I guess not.
Yeah. So I'll let you do that. And then once you're done with the Blue Cross Live, I'll come back. I'm going to go backstage while you do that, but I'll come back and we'll go over the rundown.
Because we got to go over the rundown. I didn't ever get any other stuff.
Okay.
I can't hear to know when to do the Blue Cross. That's the issue right now.
Brian, we need to hear the station.
COVID-19 has uncovered the need for companies to move away from on-site manual financial processes and migrate to secure automated.
Can I do it?
UHY can find you the right automated solution and provide highly skilled to transform your financial departments. UHY can take over time-consuming financial tasks and provide you with timely, accurate information so you can focus on the future of your business and its strategic goals. UHY has a team of professionals dedicated to back-office transformation, including CFO and controller services, financial statement preparation and advisory technology solutions deployment, accounts payable and receivables, bank and credit reconciliations, sales tax filing, and much more. Whether you need a little or a lot of help, UHY will tailor a solution that fits with every situation and every budget. Email them at greatlakes@uhy-us.com. Again, that's greatlakes@uhy-us.com.
Over the years, our Michigan communities have been through many ups and downs, and this year, without question, is one of the most difficult we've faced together. But it brings comfort to know that when it comes to our health, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan continues to be here for it all. For 81 years, Blue Cross has been committed to helping everyone in Michigan achieve better health and to strengthening our communities. That's why they work with doctors in every county, providing insurance to people in every zip code, while also providing needed funds to care for the uninsured in free clinics across Michigan. And as we all look to the future, Blue Cross will be here, providing members on-demand access to the care they need through Blue Cross online visits, a 24-hour nurse line, and the Blue Cross mobile app. For generations, Blue Cross has stood behind their members' care and the communities we call home. Blue Cross is here for it all and always will be. You can learn more at hereforitall.com. Hereforitall.com. As we continue on WJR.
Hi, I'm Dennis Miller from the Dennis Miller Option, which is my podcast. I always assume once they gave it that title, they pretty much had to, well, they had to call me to host it.
But not every cause is the end of the world as we know it.
So, Dubster.
Yes, ma'am.
For our audience and for you, we're coming back in 1 minute. So for the moment, just add in at 6:35, Mike O'Hara and Steve Courtney talking about our Lions at 6:35.
All right, let me get that in there.
And then for this hour, that's the only add-in.
6:35.
Mike O'Hara. DetroitLions.com.
Okay.
And then
and
Steve will be in on that. Yep.
.com. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And I'll be backstage.
FamilyHeating.com.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
As we continue on the News Talk 760 WJR, the great voice of the Great Lakes, 619. And it's time to check in with Mike Lee. He's the managing editor of Crane's Detroit Business and brought to you by our good friends at UHY. They do good work for me. UHY advisors and CPAs serving Metro Detroit and across the globe for over 50 years. UHY. Well, I have my fresh off the presses Crane's Detroit Business. There's a lot going on here on the cover. We've got former Beaumont trustee speaks out on merger from homeless to C-suite. Pandemic recession hits women harder than men for the first time. And let's talk about that. We've seen unemployment skyrocket last spring and then ease back some since then. But there's something unique about this recession so far. In every previous recession in memory, men lost jobs at a faster rate than women. You say that's changing. Good morning, Mike.
Morning. Yeah, this time around, it's some different things are happening. As you said, normally when a recession hits, men are the ones who lose jobs first at a faster pace. This time, for the first time, women are. In July, women were unemployed at about a 17% rate. Men were a couple of points below that. A lot of this has to do with schooling and childcare. Responsibility, whether it's reasonable or not, responsibility for taking care of the kids is often still falling disproportionately on women. But there are other factors too. Some of the industries that have been hit hardest by layoffs tend to be more dominated by women, healthcare being one of them. Big healthcare systems have cut thousands of jobs because they lost massive amounts of revenue when non-essential care was shut down. This all matters. It matters in the short term, but it matters in the long term too. A period of unemployment reverberates through your earnings through the rest of your life. It costs you much more than just those wages during your period of unemployment, because it sets you back. And so it's really a tough situation. It's a tough situation for everybody.
Yeah, it is a tough situation for everybody. And I'm wondering what the factor would be, in your opinion, if you have an opinion on this, Mike Lee, why all of a sudden women more so than men? I would have thought it was across the board, other than the fact that there are more men employed than women. Is that why it was always affecting more men than women?
To some extent, usually recessions hit manufacturing industries hard early. This time, manufacturing came back quite quickly when the shutdowns ended. But in terms of, I think it has as much to do with at-home responsibilities and how people divide those up as it does with people stay home to take care of the kids. They're counted as unemployed now. They're not counted as out of the workforce because of the COVID restriction.
Great story on the front page, from homeless to C-suite, and the story of Rita Fields. Tell us about that, Mike.
This is a really inspiring story. Rita Fields is a new C-suite executive at Lighthouse of Oakland County, nonprofit that provides shelter to women. She was 29 years ago a client of one of the agencies that is now part of Lighthouse. She was on her own and pregnant at 18 years old. She was sleeping behind the Kroger in Royal Oak when she first heard about South Oakland Shelter. She had dropped out of high school, run away from an abusive mother before winding up on the streets. They took her in at the shelter, eventually convinced her to go back home. She enrolled in college at Marygrove. This first tour at her shelter, she's back now 29 years later after a career in various executive roles, various HR roles. Now she's heading up HR and talent for Lighthouse. It's just an inspiring life story that really drives home what is possible. Rita made quite a change with the help of the shelter.
All right. A couple of other big stories in the current issue of Crane's Detroit Business. And one of them affects a lot of people, and there should be some interest, and that is in building golf courses. Man, we were going crazy for a period of time, and there was no stopping golf course development throughout the United States. Now what is the state of affairs in the golf course making business?
The state of affairs in the golf course making business is that it's ground almost completely to a halt. The last golf course built in Michigan was built in 4 years ago, and now it's going the other direction. Golf courses are considering whether to sell for subdivision redevelopments. The example at hand is Forest Lake Country Club in Bloomfield Township. The members are going to vote on whether to sell the country club to Toll Brothers, the home builder, to build a subdivision. There are other golf courses in the state that are up for sale too.
Which golf course is that?
This is Forest Lake Country Club.
Forest Lake, wow. Huh.
The club is down to around 300 members, around 90 equity members who actually get to vote on the sale. It sounds to me from our reporter's discussion with the members that there's some division. It doesn't sound like this is a done deal, but it illustrates the tough times that golf is going through. The sort of country club experience is not always as appealing to young families as it might have been at one time. Some courses have made changes. They have made changes in how they run, the amenities they offer. In order to try and attract those young families, you have to pour some money in to make those changes. There's not always willingness to do that. The one thing that surprised me in terms of redeveloping a golf course into a subdivision, it's not as easy as you might think. It turns out that one of the reasons why the golf course might have been built in the first place is it's a very hard piece of property to turn into anything else. They often have wetlands, which create regulatory problems. other issues, just the lay of the land is not always the best for building the subdivision. So,
all right, Mike Lee, bringing it
that.
all to us. It's all in Crane's Detroit Business. Go to cranesdetroit.com and read all about it. Better yet, become a subscriber, or even better yet, become one of their members. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Paul.
Mike Lee, brought to you by UHY. UHY Advisors and CPA, serving Metro Detroit and across the globe for over 50 years. It is 6:28 at 760 WJR.
This report is sponsored by Church's Chicken. Get Church's new Go Box today. Your choice of chicken, your choice of sides, and biscuits to feed 6 or more. This is more than lunch. It's leftovers, starting at $20. Church's, bring in the down-home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
That sounds good. It's more than lunch. It's leftovers. Church's Chicken. Love that. Don't you, Dana? WJR Traffic and Weather first. Miss Dana Clark. Doesn't that sound good?
Yes, nothing like a good piece of chicken.
Love
Roadways, not any time of day. Roadways not looking too bad. Just seeing slow traffic right now. 94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane. Otherwise, we are accident free. Also tracking a 15-minute delay for trucks across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Detroit VA Healthcare System. Veterans, the Detroit VA healthcare system reminds you to not let COVID-19 postpone your healthcare needs. The Detroit VA is ready to care for you in their medical facilities and through online video visits. To learn more, visit detroit.va.gov. Expecting a beautiful day this Monday to kick off the work week. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 68. Clear skies tonight, low 49. More sun on Tuesday, up to 72 degrees. Clear skies, 59 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 1 minute.
It's time to think Ford first. Right now, current AZ Plan trade-in customers can lease a 2020 Ford Fusion SE for $149 a month for 24 months, with $2,049 due at signing. The Fusion comes standard with Ford Copilot 360.
So now you're in a break.
Oh, good. I was just gonna text Brian to see if I could talk to our people who are following us on the Facebook and wherever else they're following us, oh, this is the other thing. Okay, so then if I go to the comments from the folks, Patrick Mendez, one of our regulars, says, let's Photoshop different hairstyles for Paul. I guess I shouldn't have brought so much attention to my messy hair. But remember, I have headphones on too, so that affects my hair.
Your hair's not messy.
I have headphone hair. In fact, now that really makes me look like Larry David with no hair at all. Anyway, but thanks for the idea there, Patrick Mendez. God bless you. Anyway, Annie, I have Mike O'Hara. Folks, you're going to just get some of the behind-the-scenes thing because that's the only way we can communicate. So Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com with Steve at 6:35.
We can figure out what's happening with the Lions, what's going on, why is that happening every day. And then at 8:35, Dan Miller is going to give us more insight on what's happening with the Lions. Dan is going to be with us every Monday at 8:35.
Oh, good.
Just like he has been in the past.
Let me get to that page here and add that to my rundown. This is how I know, folks, what the heck is going on. So Dan Miller, voice of Lions, with Lomas Brown on Lions Radio.
Yeah, Lions Radio. Dan and Stevie will be there at 8:30.
Oh, Steve will be back. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And then at 8:48, we're not going to chat with Frank this morning because that's the best time for the chief to come on. Chief James Craig is going to chat with us about how the city is seeking changes to that order that is banning Detroit police from using tear gas and rubber bullets on protesters. So the city wants to change that order. It's a temporary order banning police from using certain tactics and equipment to rein in protesters.
It was ridiculous because Unless something's going on that I haven't seen, our police are not running amok by any stretch of the imagination.
I didn't think so either. The other thing is they need tools in their toolbox.
Yeah. I mean,
Because-
they're being you know what? Where did it ever become okay for people to throw things like bottles and frozen water bottles and glass bottles and fireworks and other stuff at police without them responding with force?
And, there were a couple of horrible police shootings over the weekend. One in California with 2 police officers
sitting in their car.
Oh, and they're in really bad condition. And the other one is North Carolina. A police officer was killed. And it's just, he went to arrest a suspect just on a normal run. And not good. Not good. That Forest Lake story that Mike Lee is talking about is fascinating, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear it, folks online here, Forest Lake considering, not doing for sure, but considering selling their golf course to like Toll Brothers or somebody to build a community instead of having a golf course. Hey, yay. Now it's expensive to have a golf course.
Right.
I know you'll find
a lot of people aren't joining.
I think I know you'll find this hard to believe, Annie, but I have it freezing in the hotel room.
That is really hard to believe. What's really hard to believe is that you have your coat on.
Well, I'm just putting a shirt on over my night shirt because of our pajama mornings.
But
PJ
maybe
Monday.
it's too cold when you put another shirt on.
Well, no. Here's when I start to get the idea it's too cold. Kim left a while ago to get coffee, and I haven't seen her since.
She's probably working in the lobby. You probably,
Can I stay down here? It's a normal temperature. Can I stay down here and do some work?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez, I just put my...
So tell us about this event that Jamie's in. It's at Bedford Country Club.
Belmont,
Belmont.
which is in, they say Perrysburg, but it's really like Rossford, I think. And we're in a hotel called Staybridge Suites. And I don't know how much it costs. I don't think we got a deal or anything, but it's not probably very expensive. But Kim made the arrangements. But they call themselves Toledo, Rossford, Perrysburg. It's 15 minutes from downtown Toledo because we ended up joining our friends Tom and Vicky Romer outside at the Real Seafood Company, which is beautiful. It's right along the water.
Oh, nice.
In Toledo. It's just gorgeous, the Maumee River. Oh, she didn't leave me. In fact, she's come bearing gifts.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Well, I have the USA Today, but I don't have any of the other stuff. But thank you. Oh, she was able to get a couple of cold breakfast sandwiches.
Wow.
That's nice, baby. Thank you.
And soy milk.
And soy milk. All right, watch. She's going to turn the microwave on, and everything will blow up and go off the air. That's the way I think. You have to understand the way I think.
I know.
Delta and Echo.
All right, I'm going backstage. Holler if you need me.
Holler.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Well, I'm just looking in the current USA Today to see if the Lions game made the newspaper nationwide, because I don't see it as a headline. At least, thank goodness for that, because I'm afraid to say the headline would be pretty horrific. I don't want to say "Here we go again," but how can you not say "Here we go again"? I'm trying not to. Let's turn to the sports guys. Our own Steve Courtney, who did a marvelous job, although you were distraught when I was listening to you on Lions Radio right here on WJR.
Yeah.
Steve, you were distraught. There's no better word for it.
Well, here we are the morning after, and the sting is still there. This is a movie we've seen before, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Certainly the Lions had an opportunity to make a statement in the opener. And a Matt Prater field goal, Paul, in the third quarter puts the Honolulu Blue and Silver up 23-6. We go to the fourth quarter. Many similarities between what we witnessed yesterday, and of course the opener in the desert a year ago, and the Lions had that 24-6 fourth quarter lead. Let's talk about it right now with Mo Better Blues. There's a lot to discuss. First of all, Michael, how are you this morning?
Here we go again.
No, see, how do you not say it?
Sorry,
I so
Paul.
desperately didn't want to say it.
Okay, just for you,
Mike. I'll tell you what. I don't know. You go back to the second quarter, and one of the new arrivals, Jamie Collins, inadvertently dips his head, makes contact with the ref. By rule, he is booted out. Perhaps a precursor to what was going to be coming up. But there's a lot of things to talk about right now as to, how Mitchell Trubisky, again, able to put together 3 touchdown throws in the fourth quarter, following his script against the Lions, by the way. Unbelievably so.
well, that's he's won his last 4 starts now against the Detroit Lions. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes in all 3 games. That's 12 touchdown passes. One of the Chicago writers I was talking to after the game said, I think he only has 1 other game or 2 other games in his now 4th season in the National Football League where he's had 3 touchdown passes. So he certainly plays well against Detroit, and he's probably played better than a lot of us give him credit for against other teams. But who cares about other teams? It's what happened yesterday, and it's something you cannot have. You just can't let that happen to your team. You just can't.
No, and there's a couple things to discuss here, Mo. First of all, we begin with the aforementioned Matt Prater. Fourth quarter, Lions up 23-13. Matt Patricia opts to bring out Mr. Prater for that 55-yard attempt. Now, based on Prater's resume, I don't fault Coach Patricia for opting this way. He would have been up 26-13. 55 yards, certainly a sizable attempt, but Prater has shown time and time again, not to mention defensively, you've got your 2 starting corners out, and the Lions weren't showing any signs of being able to stop this Bears offense. Your thoughts?
Well, I didn't really have a big problem with it at the time. I like aggressive football. I thought it was a coin flip decision. You could go either way on it. But thinking about it a little bit more, I thought, they probably should have punted the ball and made him drive the ball further to score, make the Bears drive further to score. But the other part of it is they weren't stopping him anyway, so I don't know if that would have made a difference. They were just going right through him there.
Yeah, and I know this is what you guys do. You go play by play and try to make sense of it. But I got to tell you, whether it's Matt or the coach deciding to do that, or Matt missing it, or the poor kid, I don't even want to say his name, you guys can, but the poor kid who didn't, he caught the ball and then he dropped the ball. No. This has got nothing to do with the Lions losing. We can pick these little things out at the end of the game, but it's not his fault that the Lions found themselves leading 23-6 in the fourth quarter. Little individual misses for the kick, dropping the ball, which of course was a heartbreaker, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. But what the heck happens to the Lions to be leading so many games that they lose? That's the big, broad issue here. You guys,
that's the $64,000 question, Paul. I mean, and this has been discussed, Mike, during this bizarre offseason. They got the dagger out, and they understand exactly what transpired so many times a year ago. So for this lightning to strike in the opener is certainly not a good thing. Another key point, Mike, 23-20 Lions up, fourth quarter, you get the Fuller pick. And it's just rather typical of the way things have been going for the Honolulu Blue and Silver of late, right?
Well, exactly. When you talk about just the way things happen, look, there's been a flaw in this team. It was there last year, and it was again there yesterday against the Bears, and that is their inability in the fourth quarter to get defensive stops and score in the fourth quarter. Last year, and I looked this up, and I've written this numerous times already, so bear with me if you've heard it, if you're going to hear it again. In the 12 games they lost last year, they were outscored 117-59. That's almost a 2-1 margin. That's not winning football. And yesterday it was 21-0. And in the tie that they had with the Cardinals last year in the opener, they're outscored 18-7 in the fourth quarter. That's not winning football. It's the way it is. And you've got to be able to make plays in the National Football League. It has really become a lot like the National Basketball Association. It's a fourth quarter game, and the pressure shifts, often to the team that has the lead, and the Lions have not been able to react favorably to it. How you turn that around, I don't know, but you have to have a pass rush. The Lions had 1 sack yesterday. You have to get turnovers. They didn't get any. Those are the components of playing winning football, that you take charge when you have the lead and you bury the opponent, lock it up, and go home, and you got to win, because it's very, very hard to win in the National Football League. But that's
silver lining here, perhaps, Mike. Adrian Peterson, 14 carries, 93 yards, still has gas in the tank. His presence, veteran presence in the locker room, going up to DeAndre Swift after the ball game, by all accounts, saying, "Look, do not let this play define you. Be mad, be upset, and be better because of it." So there you go.
Good advice.
That's positive.
Good advice from Adrian Peterson to DeAndre Swift. All right. Any last word before we go, gentlemen?
Well, they've got a tough thing coming up now. The next 3 games before the bye, they play at Green Bay, they play at Arizona, and then home against New Orleans Saints, who just trashed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they made it tough on themselves at the beginning, and now it's even tougher. Now they've got to find a way to climb out of it.
I allowed myself to believe that this was going to be different, that, oh my God, the new Lions going into the fourth quarter, 23-6, everything was going to be okay. Why did I allow myself to feel that way?
Disheartening, but you know what? That's all I got.
Yep. Okay.
You got 15 more chances, Paul.
Yeah.
Think about that. 15 more.
1 year I was wrong 16 times. But anyway, all right. Mike O'Hara, DetroitLions.com, along with our own Steve Courtney. Steve will be back a little later at about 8:35. Matter of fact, right here on WJR, where it is 6:45.
This report is sponsored by Church's Chicken. Get Church's new Go Box today. Your choice of chicken, your choice of sides, and biscuits to feed 6 or more. This is more than lunch. It's leftovers, starting at $20. Church's, bring in the down-home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
And at 6:45, let's check it, our WJR traffic and weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Accident-free, just seeing a delay along 696 westbound between DeQuinder and 75. Also slow go along 75 southbound between 696 and 9 Mile. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Nice stretch of weather here for the start of the week with high pressure building in. Sunny and cooler today, close to 70. Clear, cool tonight, upper 40s. Sunny and low 70s Tuesday, mid to upper 70s with sunshine Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on Newstalk 760 WJR.
And at 6:45 still, let's check our SAE Eye on Engineering with Lindsay Brooke with Automotive Engineering Magazine, and brought to you by Continental Automotive. The future in motion. Visit continental-automotive.com to find out more. Continental Automotive. Lindsay?
It's big, fast, loaded with technology, and expensive. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class is the benchmark for luxury cars. Every 7 years, Mercedes launches a new S-Class, but the 2021 model may be the most important S-Class ever. That's because Daimler, which owns Mercedes, needs the S-Class's 20% profit margins to help pay for the costly switch to electric cars and for this year's pandemic losses. Daimler also must pay for a new plant in Germany, aluminum body structures, and more tech features. Mercedes could sell over 95,000 S-Class cars in 2021. With each car priced at more than $100,000, S-Class would earn Daimler about $2.4 billion. For Automotive Engineering Magazine, I'm Lindsay Brooke, and that's this week's SAE Eye on Engineering.
There are nearly 40,000 lives lost on U.S. roadways every year. At Continental, we're working to reduce that number to 0. It starts with driver assist technologies that are available right now. Up to 10,000 lives could be saved if these safety features, such as automatic emergency braking, blind spot detection, and lane departure warning, existed in every vehicle. As one of the world's top tech companies, we're combining our expertise in automated driving and connectivity to make a better world for everyone, today and tomorrow. It takes remarkable technology to make this possible, and Continental is turning big ideas into reality. We're developing 3D sensing technologies that work in adverse weather, a voice-controlled digital companion that enhances the comfort and convenience of your drive, and holographic instrument displays that will make driving more intuitive. For more, visit Continental.com. Continental Automotive, the future in motion.
Here's a little taste of some of the conversation you might have missed last week on The Rich Paul Show.
You know, in retirement planning, if you're behind, it's really tempting to take more risk to try to close the gap. But it almost never works out. You're risking it all at that point. You can't do that. Maybe you can adjust your lifestyle. You could save more. You can earn more. But now is not the time to try to hit the investment home run. We don't want to swing for the fences here. You certainly want to be very methodical. There are some things you can do, but more in the area of saving more money, earning more money, possibly. Maybe it's overtime, I don't know, or just adjusting the lifestyle in that last 5 or 10 years to make sure you can accommodate being able to put more money in that retirement account.
And coming up tonight at 7 here on WJR on The Rich Paul Show, equal and opposite reactions, as well as a financial trip to the financial doctor. And of course, we'll talk about the state of the market. All that and much more tonight on The Rich Paul Show here on WJR at 7.
If you're an auto worker being offered an early retirement package, now's the time to start planning. Call Richard W. Paul and Associates today for their complimentary complete planning review, where they'll answer all the questions you're asking, such as, do I have enough saved for a comfortable retirement? Should I take the pension or the lump sum? How should I invest this money to generate a safe income? Call or text today at 248-305-9911. That's 248-305-9911.
You're hearing The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
$6:49 on this Monday morning. Hope you had a fabulous weekend and you're raring to go, as are we, as we continue this Monday morning edition of the Paul W. Smith Show. I had to double check here. I could not believe what I was reading. That it's time to launch the Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army. Major Timothy Meyer, General Secretary, Metro Detroit Area Commander of the Regional Chief Operating Office, Salvation Army, Eastern Michigan Division, joins us here on this Monday morning. And this is the day. I'm here to tell you, Major, I can't believe it.
Good morning, Paul W. Yeah, I have a hard time believing it myself, to be honest. But we have something that has hit us in an unprecedented way this year, in the way of COVID-19. And we are trying to be as vigilant as possible, not knowing the future. Your last radio segment proved that. You can go into the fourth quarter and not know what's going to happen. And the Salvation Army is determined to make sure we're going to meet the need of Metro Detroiters this year. And so we are nationally, the Salvation Army is launching what is called Rescue Christmas. And that begins this morning. And we are starting a virtual campaign in order to ensure that we're able to raise the vital funds that are needed to help those this Christmas.
Yeah, you're looking like everybody's looking at whatever they do to be contactless. And over the years, historically, we would walk up to those red kettles with the person ringing the bell, and we would reach in and hopefully, if we could, put some folding money into that kettle. Is that gone for now? Altogether?
Well, no, we will be launching our traditional storefront Red Kettle campaign in November, and on November 13th is our launch date for that. Okay. And we've already heard from a couple of our national vendors who are allowing the Red Kettle. Those plans begin, as you would know, as soon as one season ends, the next season planning begins. And so we've heard from a couple already that have said, yes, you can have your bell ringer out front. You're going to have to follow whatever the requirements are for PPE and social distancing, which, as we know in Michigan, usually in the winter involves a scarf and gloves anyway. So and a hat, lots of things to keep you safe. But we are launching. We're launching this Rescue Christmas today in a virtual way to begin raising funds. People can actually do their own online red kettle this year, and can have their personal goal, a family goal, a small business goal, to begin raising funds for those who are most vulnerable in Metro Detroit.
So Major Timothy Meyer from the Salvation Army with us on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR at 6:53. Give us the different ways right now that people can make their donation as we start Rescue Christmas, starting today.
Well, starting today, you can text the word gift to 24365. You can donate on an online red kettle. You'll need to go to salmish.org. Salmish.org. You can begin making plans to volunteer as a virtual or in-person bell ringer, in fact, at registertoring.com. And of course, you can always call 877-SAL-MITCH for further information to make a donation in a more traditional way. This year, of course, through the Coronavirus Aid Relief, the CARES Act, gifts up to $300 are 100% deductible in 2020.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, even for people using the standard deduction. And so we encourage people to do that and to really make a difference here. And we're just launching now this special year. We've had so many different things, and normally we would also be hanging on and getting everything ready to go for mid-November, but we're launching this virtual campaign now.
Well, that's excellent. And think of this, whether you're texting gift to 24365, easy to remember, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, Salvation Army is working. Text gift to 24365. Visit salmish.org or call 877-SAL-MISH, M-I-C-H, of course. And think of the more than 2.5 million meals, the nearly 580,000 nights of shelter, the nearly 167,000 Christmas toys and gifts for children and seniors, more than 2,300 children opportunities to visit Echo Grove Camp, resolution of nearly 1,800 legal issues through the William Booth Legal Aid Clinic. And this is just for in and around our area, the Salvation Army of Metro Detroit, much more than just a red kettle.
Yeah, and people would appreciate this. Our bed and bread trucks did not cease at all. They did not miss one beat throughout the coronavirus pandemic, through the heat of that initial onslaught. Those trucks kept going, kept serving. And even though we had many fewer volunteers, we were able to continue that on, and in fact, increased some work during that time to do food boxes for the community. Thousands and thousands of meals, in addition to the normal daily bed and bread run, were served to Metro Detroiters and throughout all of Eastern Michigan at every Salvation Army unit. And so we just encourage people to come alongside us, to help us raise these vital funds, and so we can continue to meet the needs, which we anticipate will just continue to balloon as we get through 2020 here and look toward 2021.
Let the rescue begin. Rescue Christmas. Thank you, Major Timothy Meyer, Salvation Army. God bless you. You know that we'll help you here at WJR across the board any way that we can, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you too, Paul W.
God bless you, sir. It is almost 6:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. At MGM Grand Detroit, they can't wait to see you again. They look a little different as they've made changes for your health and safety to ensure your visit will still be a grand time. They hope to see you soon. And remember to always mask up. 21 plus.
And we've got it, our WJR traffic and weather first, and Dana Clark at 6:57. Dana?
We do have an accident, Paul W., along 75 southbound after Sashaba. It is blocking the left shoulder, 75 southbound, slow ride between 696 and 9 Mile. And also just a 15-minute delay across the Blue Water Bridge for trucks westbound between Canada and the U.S. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Shelving.com has a wide selection of Metro brand shelving and storage products now offered at new lower prices, from their popular chrome wire shelving to antimicrobial Metro Max units. Shelving.com is the best spot to shop for your Metro product needs. That's Shelving.com. We rack your world. Great forecast ahead next several days. Lots of sunshine, no rain today, hitting 68. Tonight, clear skies, cool, low 49. Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 72. Clear skies, 58 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
I ran into Rona at a party, and now I can't run out with the guys.
Man, because Rona was at that party, I can't visit my mom.
I ran into Rona there, and now my bae said bye. Stop running around. Run the other way. Stay away from Rona. Here's how at ronaforreal.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie.
Hey, I'm just looking. I got to go back and forth, which is odd here. But on our comments, Ann, and our folks that are following us online, Patrick Mendes points out, yay, the bot is here. Ignore Anderson Wood. And this Anderson Wood keeps offering people jobs, at-home jobs. Does anybody? I don't even know what that means. Did you see that, Ann?
Yeah, I've never seen
Wood is offering all these people by name
I've
jobs.
never seen this before.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't either.
When they say, so Patrick can maybe answer this for us. When they say a bot, does that mean, Patrick, like it's a robot and it's an automated thing that's somehow gotten into the feed? This is the first time we've seen this. Kind of interesting. Maybe Patrick can answer for us. I'm asking Patrick to give us a little bit of background. I've never seen anything like this. That's, but it looks like whatever this is, they're only addressing a few people. Do you notice that?
Yeah, they kind of cherry pick this quote unquote Anderson Wood is picking
five
individuals and saying something about, yeah, are you interested in working from home? Job online directly from home or any place. I don't know.
Oh, Maria says I could block him.
Oh, we should.
Well, let's see how I do that. I'm going to follow Maria's advice. And I've just done it, Maria.
Oh, I didn't even know how to do that. That's great. Anything else I need? I'm going to step away for 1 second. Do you need me for anything? Or?
No, you're good.
All right, I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. All right.
This is my only bro.
Yep, that's fine. I'm put WJR up.
Walked up to their vehicle and shot them at point blank range. Tonight, we send our love and our support to their families, and we pray to God for their recovery.
Cities along the Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast are bracing for Tropical Storm Sally. Sally is supposed to be a hurricane by the time it hits land. It's already dumping a lot of rain. Key West, Florida has had more than a foot of rain. Michigan State University students are being asked to self-quarantine after an outbreak of COVID-19. The Ingham County Health Department says most of those who came down with the COVID recently attended parties or social gatherings, many with a fraternity or sorority. Most MSU students are taking classes online. The presidents of the Big Ten met on Sunday to get updates on testing and medical information to possibly reinstate the football season, according to reports. The university presidents would be looking at ways to test their players in a timely fashion, quickly, to ensure the safety of everyone on the field. Reports say the potential new date for a kickoff could be as early as October 17th, but there's been no decision announced by the university presidents of the Big Ten Conference. Kid Rock will be at a campaign rally tonight in Harrison Township for President Trump. The star attraction will be Donald Trump Jr., along with Kid Rock. This will be at the Bumpers Landing Boat Club in Harrison. The World Market Update sponsored by Mother Waddles. Donate your car to Mother Waddles and help the poorest of the poor. Call 313-WADDLES. The Asian markets closed up. London is down, and the Dow futures are now up 187. I'm Dick Hafner, WJR News. More coming up with Paul W. Smith.
Manufacturers large and small are recommitting to that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. And they're committing to Eckhart. Eckhart helps manufacturing companies reshore jobs to the USA. And they'd like to help you grow manufacturing in America. Visit EckhartUSA.com.
My bank is more than just a new bank. It's a new way of banking that caters to businesses and the busy people that run them. At my bank, their experienced bankers and best-in-class technology gives you the
Annie, are you back, Annie?
products that can help you get back to running your business.
Yes, sir.
News only went to 7:02. Is that new?
No.
Started the commercial. I thought it was longer than
Usually
that.
goes till 7:03. I'm at 7:03 right now.
I am too, but I mean the commercial started when it was 7:02 something. So it was probably 7:02:30 or 40 in that range. 7:03.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
seemed quick. I was eating my little breakfast sandwich, which is kind of the good part of being in a hotel.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to go make anything. You can just go downstairs.
Although Kim is making a pot of coffee. She's more addicted to coffee than I am.
She's making it in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's a hotel.
There's a Mr. Coffee she's using. That brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Came right out of the dishwasher, she said. But she is using 2 of my Abso Pure steam distilled waters. I count those. Oh, you brought those for coffee?
Specifically for 5406000.
Of course she did.
Roofingsiding.com.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 7.
Started at 2:52. Good Monday morning to you. It's the 14th of September, the 258th day of 2020. There are 108 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift, other than the days when the Lions play. If you had a great weekend, I am happy for you. That means you're going to have a great week ahead of you, and we'll be with you every step of the way from 5:30 till 9, Monday through Friday, both on WJR at 760 on the AM dial, and today and tomorrow, probably on online as well on Facebook and YouTube and all the other ways that you can now pick up WJR. And we have coming up Jeff Sloan with their business beat. But right now, Dick Hafner and Thomas, you can join in too because you're still online. We're just talking about things that are coming up. I'm looking at Paul Eisenstein. Did either of you see this this headline from the Detroit Free Press? LA Auto Show move, a declaration of war.
Yes.
On shows in Detroit and New York. The competition among leading auto shows has always been tough, but thought to be civilized. A 100-year tradition that ended this month when the Los Angeles Auto Show added a major headache to the Detroit and New York shows' long-announced plans to sit out 2020 and resume business as usual, assuming the COVID-19 crisis is resolved enough for large groups to gather. Of course, the LA show's organizers had been almost alone among large public events in decline to reschedule sooner. They insisted the 2020 show would still take place this November, long after all other major auto shows recognized the reality of COVID-19. Here's the thing. As I've been saying for as long as I've been talking about it, there are too many auto shows. B, they're too expensive in the end to go to all the auto shows, and Detroit remains the North American International Auto Show, a very important auto show that the manufacturers should not miss, the OEMs. So I don't know, maybe they're just desperate because, I mean, frankly, when they have a Los Angeles auto show, nobody cares. I mean, Los Angeles doesn't care. It's not like front page news like it is in our Detroit papers every day of the auto show. It's a big deal. In Los Angeles, there are lots of big deals. And the auto show doesn't much matter the same way it does in Detroit. Don't you think?
Absolutely. The other thing is, why did they have to do that? Why didn't they just do it in the fall? There's way too many shows now clumped together. It's silly.
I do not know. It's a very good question. I don't have an answer for. Is Dick around? Behind. He's there. He was. We did see him earlier, but now we're behind the black screen again. I am online all show because that's how I'm coming to you. I hope it sounds good through the system.
Great.
And because today we're following Jamie in his efforts as a golfer. It's the Toledo Open at Belmont Country Club, which is they call Perrysburg, but Rossford, Perrysburg area. Looking forward to seeing Van Brandt, the head pro there at Belmont Country Club, and of course watching our Jamie with his he's grinding it out, baby. He is in tournament after tournament, and the ones we can follow him on, we are. So meanwhile, that's why my background looks a little different than the usual background, and why I am on Facebook and YouTube and wherever else I'm coming from. Somebody's dental fillings. I'm everywhere, and we're glad to be with you. But Annie had a great week, and with the wedding, it was like everybody who had a wedding lately with COVID-19. It's totally different than what's been traditionally a wedding. You learned a lot, didn't you, Ann?
Absolutely, we did. It'll be interesting to see if we can have the bigger reception next year. We're just kind of in a wait and see holding pattern.
Yeah.
But yes, they wanted to get married, and so we honored that, and it was beautiful. It worked out just fine. So, question about the tournament.
Kim showed the pictures from your kids put a lot of pictures on Instagram. Thanks, sweetheart.
Yes. Question about the tournament for you. It's interesting and great that you get to follow him during COVID. Do you have to wear a mask all day?
Well, we do. We wear masks. Yeah. I generally, as a working member of the media, also get a cart. And Kim and I ride around in that cart. And I have the mask on except when I'm smoking a cigar. I thought about putting a hole in my mask, but I don't have enough masks to start poking holes in them. So we wear the masks. I smoke a cigar, which is I've been smoking too many cigars during COVID. I never felt
it would be the other way around.
Yeah, well, when you get outside and you're sitting out there, it's so nice to be able to do. I don't want to do too much of it, smoking's bad for you no matter what it is. I do believe cigars aren't as bad as cigarettes, but it's still smoke and your body doesn't need it or want it. But I do enjoy a dirty, rotten, nasty cigar once in a while. But that once in a while is becoming almost every day, which is not good. I mean, look at our friend Rush. He loved his cigars. And I'm not saying, because he's never said, not that I've ever heard, he's never said anything about his cigars and his lung cancer. But let's face it, that's always a possibility when you're smoking. Although I've heard of more people getting lung cancer never smoking, which is always bizarre to me. But I'm also worried about the air that we breathe. But that aside, let's take care of a little business here at 7-Eleven. Our WJR business beat is brought to you by My Bank. Did I just hear the traffic sounder? My Bank, Michigan's newest bank, built for businesses and the people who run them. Learn more at mi.bank. MI like Michigan, mi.bank. Or we say My Bank. And of course, Jeff Sloan is founder and CEO of Startup Nation, spotlighting the entrepreneurial, tech, and startup community on WJR. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Paul. To get this week off to a roaring start, the University of Michigan has announced a record launch of 31 startups in fiscal 2020, a 40% increase during a period that included the pandemic and temporary shuttered labs. U of M inventors went to market with a wide range of discoveries, including those from a company using machine learning predictive modeling to help cities like Flint replace their lead-tainted water pipes, to another that pivoted from prostate cancer screening to rapid COVID-19 testing during a global health crisis. In addition to the record number of startups launched, U of M researchers reported a rise in new inventions, a record 522 for the 2020 fiscal year, up from last year's 502. U of M Tech Transfer also reported it signed a record 268 license deals and option agreements with companies seeking to commercialize the discoveries of university researchers in the past fiscal year, up from 232 in fiscal year 2019. Kelly Sexton, U of M Associate Vice President for Research, Technology Transfer, and Innovation Partnerships, had this to say: the launch of 31 new startup companies is a testament to the strength and resiliency of the university's growing innovation ecosystem. The record-breaking growth in startup formation is important in 2020 because these new companies will be meaningful contributors to the growth and diversification of our state's economy as we work to rebound from the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. Rebecca Cunningham, U of M Vice President for Research and Professor of Emergency Medicine, had this to say: as the nation's leading public research university, we have an obligation to ensure that our research discoveries are translated from the lab to the marketplace in ways that positively benefit society. So what does all this mean to this great university? It means a return on their investment, both financially as well as culturally. The 2020 roster of startups raised $237 million during the year, generated revenues from licensing totaling $14.5 million, and there were 4 exit events as well, all of which supports and fuels further research and innovation at this great university. And that, in turn, can result in additional startups being born from research activity happening at the university. Now, this is the way you get it done. Congratulations to the University of Michigan, and go blue. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If the next step for your business is finding a high-impact hire, try Indeed. Their flexible payment options mean better bang for your buck with no long-term contracts. Indeed will even give you a $75 credit for your first job post at Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions apply.
And our WJR traffic and weather first at 7:15. Here's Dana Clark.
Traffic first sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. The Restore Wellness Center will reduce the pain and scar tissue, improve blood flow, nerve function, and muscle stimulation. Call the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment centers today. Get your first treatment free. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or RestoreWellnessCenter.com. 75 southbound after Sashabaw accident is blocking the left shoulder. Seeing a delay 15-minute for trucks across the Blue Water Bridge, westbound between Canada and the U.S. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit. When your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project calls for plumbers, pipe fitters, or HVAC service technicians, the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit connects you with the very best highly skilled and trained union contractors. To get started on your next project, visit mcadetroit.org.
A little cooler here to start off the work week. Mostly sunny skies today. A light north to northeast breeze. Upper 60s to near 70 this afternoon. Clear, cool tonight, 48. Sunny and low 70s Tuesday. Partly cloudy, upper 70s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
All right, Kenny, it is 7:16 at 760 WJR. Consumers Energy's Clean Energy Plan eliminates coal, boosts renewable energy, and creates a bright future for Michigan. To get more details and give them your ideas to make the plan even stronger, join them this month during their next virtual open house on September 15th. That would be tomorrow. Tomorrow, they have a virtual open house, and during this virtual event, they'll explore topics such as wind and solar power, protecting our environment, building a smarter power grid, and what customers like you can do to help. To learn more about this month's Clean Energy Plan virtual open house, which is tomorrow, visit mycleanenergy.com. That's mycleanenergy.com. It is 7:17 and war declared on the Detroit Auto Show and the New York Auto Show by those rascals in Los Angeles. Paul Eisenstein is all over the story. He'll join us next here on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR as we approach 7:18.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. Every day we go above and beyond to make sure we are Crestview Cadillac clean. This month, we have a big selection of Cadillacs with equipment you want. Find yours now at CrestviewCadillac.com and we'll deliver it to you today, sanitized. We do a ton of GM employee pricing. My price will be unmatched, you'll see. And I want to service your Cadillac right here. We have 30-minute oil changes, and you'll always get a Cadillac loaner here. Call us right now. See us on Rochester Road or at CrestviewCadillac.com.
When much of the country was shut down during the pandemic, the trucking industry remained open and on the front lines to deliver to our homes and stores. Did you know there are 3.5 million professional truck drivers in America working to deliver for you, serving 80% of our communities? This week, it's National Truck Driver Appreciation Week, and we're tipping our hat to truck drivers who safely deliver day in and day out, and during a global crisis. To learn more, visit Trucking Moves America Forward at truckingmovesamerica.com.
Wherever your family calls home, Blue Cross is here for you. By supporting and building healthy communities in every zip code, we're providing a healthier future for all of Michigan. For 81 years, we've kept this promise to help strengthen our neighbors, to stand by their side during the moments they need us most. We're here for it all, and always will be. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit hereforitall.com.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
As we continue, and it's interesting historically, as Kim has pointed out, September 14th, today is September 14th. In 1814, Francis Scott Key penned the poem, which is later set to music, and in 1931 became America's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. It all was inspired by the fact that we were in the War of 1812. Well, guess what? There's another war on this September 14th that we point out that we are now in the middle of, or beginning at least, at 7:20 on this 14th of September. And Paul Eisenstein, publisher and editor of and editor-in-chief of the DetroitBureau.com, is here to talk about this latest war that has to do with Los Angeles. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it is pretty odd, isn't it? We certainly have had a big impact from the pandemic on just about everything, Paul. We had a grand plan for a Detroit Auto Show moving to June, and that fell apart, as did the New York Auto Show, pretty much every auto show of the year. The LA show was going to be next, and they did finally announce plans to cancel this year's show. But what is really bizarre is they've decided to come back next year, not in November, but right in the middle, right between the New York Auto Show, which is always just before Easter, and the Detroit show, which had moved to June.
There'd been I guess what we used to call a gentleman's agreement, that there'd be about 11 weeks between shows at least, that there'd be kind of, like New York and Detroit start dates are about 11 weeks apart within the window that major shows have traditionally sought, because, as we've discussed a million times, millions of dollars are invested in these auto shows. And they're fighting for their lives because there's so many ways now, unless you're a big deal auto show, like the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, the automakers are starting to reconsider, because there's so many shows, both in this country and out of this country, that I just wonder if Los Angeles is cutting their nose off to spite their face.
Well, they may be, but they are also creating a bit of a nightmare both for New York and for Detroit, and frankly, for the auto companies who are not happy about the news either. The reality is Detroit and LA have often battled over the years. You may recall, yes, there's normally this gap, but for a number of years, Detroit and LA were right on top of each other around the beginning of the new year. And LA decided to move, 10, 15 years ago? They moved to November, which is a great time slot. Why they're moving now is uncertain. But the reality is that automakers, as you said, have a lot of other options. They're cutting back on auto shows. And Paul, you know as well as I do, the number of new car previews, in fact, the number of manufacturers displaying at the Detroit Auto Show has dropped sharply in recent years. Automakers are using webinars. They've been massively invested in that during the pandemic, and they're going to stay with that in many cases. They're using non-traditional shows like the Texas State Fair, the Pebble Beach Concours, and the like. So the danger is that by slamming three shows on top of each other, it's a question of whether all three can survive.
Right. It will be, frankly, it will be a matter of survival at this point. And I think that's unfortunate. It's a precarious situation that the traditional auto shows find themselves in. And, the first sign of a little bit of a problem was when, across the country and around the world, because we used to travel around the world for these things, and that is that there were companies that started doing little sidebar press parties for introductions of vehicles. Rather than do it at the actual hall of the auto show, they'd find some really cool place outside of the auto show grounds, if you will, and take advantage of the fact that they knew the world press was there, and they do their introductions and their special things elsewhere. That was the first thing I noticed. How about for you?
Yeah, I agree with you. What happened was a lot of the automakers, when they thought they had a really special vehicle, a Corvette, for example, often would wind up doing a preview, if you will. GM, for example, when they introduced the last generation, seventh generation Corvette, they did something the day before the Detroit Auto Show opened at a great location along I-75, an old industrial building. And that made sense because they could bring in a larger crowd and run longer than the 20-minute news conference. But then they also had the news conference on the big day. So, everybody turned out, everybody won. What's happened in recent years is more and more of these reveals are happening off-site, not at the auto show. In some cases, you're not even seeing the product at the auto show. They'll do an introduction off-site, and then when you go to the press days, that vehicle isn't even there. And the reality is the auto shows deserve a little bit of the blame. They are expensive. To do a preview at a Detroit Auto Show or one of the other big auto shows can run 5, 10. I've heard of some events costing as much as $20 million, Paul.
My, I knew it was expensive. I didn't know it was that expensive.
To put up the smallest display in Detroit over the recent years was at least around $1 million. And it was usually several $1 million, and that's without a news conference. So the reality is these things are costly. And you think of automakers spending all the money that they have, that you might say, oh, well, that's nothing. Well, remember that automakers not only are spending massive amounts on marketing, but they're also having to invest in things like electric and autonomous vehicles.
Right.
So they're trying to rein in spending.
Yeah, believe me, $1 million here, $1 million there. You're starting to talk about real money. That's the old joke. And when you realize how little, although they'll figure out a way to make it be more expensive, but how little it costs right now on social media to introduce product. Oh, incredible. Paul, you're incredible. Paul Eisenstein, publisher and editor-in-chief of the DetroitBureau.com and the war of the West and the East as Los Angeles takes on Detroit and New York. I'm putting my money on Detroit and New York. Paul, thanks so much.
I hope so. Good to be with you, Paul.
Always nice talking with you. It's 7:27 on 760 WJR.
This report is sponsored by Ascension Care Teams at GetAscensionMichiganCare.com. Ascension caregivers are here with you, and they're not going anywhere at this time. You can still get the care you need when you need it. They're making sure their hospitals and sites of care are safe and ready for you when you need them, in person and virtual visits. Get the care you need at GetAscensionMichiganCare.com.
As we check it now, our WJR Traffic and Weather first with Dana Clark as we approach 7:28. Dana?
Accident along 75 southbound after Sashaba. It is blocking both shoulders. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Marathon. No matter where your travels take you, Marathon can improve your engine performance with quality top-tier gasoline. Marathon, fueling the American spirit. Great way to kick off the new work and school week. Plenty of sunshine today, dry conditions, nice humidity, a high of 68 tonight, clear skies, low 49 Tuesday. More sun, a high of 72, even warmer on Wednesday with plenty of sunshine, a high of 79. Clear skies, 59 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
Lear, a global automotive technology leader in seating and E-systems, has a reputation for identifying industry trends and acting on them. As the industry continues to transform, Lear faces the future of the vehicle with an even bolder vision.
Dubster.
Annie?
I'm going to have you talk to Dick at 7:35.
Let me write all this down. Okay.
So that's just you and Dick chatting.
Okay.
And then at 7:48, I've added in Mike Shirkey, and I sent you the article with regard to how many petition signatures have been gathered to oppose the governor with regard to the emergency orders issue. And
did you send that as an email or a text?
I sent it as an email, so check it as an email because I thought maybe you could pull it up on your
Yeah, I can
other
pull it up on my
laptop.
screen. Yeah.
But just
Here it
make
is.
sure it opens okay for you because lately sometimes those don't open.
Well, they open, but I can't print them, and I don't know what that's all.
Okay.
So here's a group tops 400K. Yep, I got it. Beautiful. That will be, whoops.
That's Mike at,
Wow, my computer just dropped internet.
oh,
That's not good.
that's not good. You still look good though.
Now I don't know what I'm going to do here. Let's see. Now I got check availability for rooms. For God's sakes.
You should be able to put more than one,
Here, I
have
got
more
rid
than
of
one
that.
device.
I got rid of that. Group tops 400K. Okay, I don't know what happened.
There. Good.
Oh, geez. It keeps popping away. Now there's some little thing in the corner I don't want. Okay, there we go. I have it for now. When is that? That's not until 7:48. I hope it'll stay there.
And then you could bring it up on your phone too.
Okay, so we've got Mike Shirkey.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Senate Majority Leader at 7:48.
Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, 7:48. Petition. Got that. Anything else?
No, sir. At the moment, we're good.
So 8:05 Dick again. And then I have, just going over this real quick,
And then we're going to talk to Matthew Schneider at
Matthew Schneider.
8:18. And then we're going to talk to Dan Miller at 8:35.
I got that.
Chief at
8:48.
yes. And do you have the information for the chief?
I don't know that I have it in front of me. I've read it a couple times, but if I could have it in front of me, that'd be helpful during the.
I could email it.
That'd be great.
But I'll wait until you're finished with this so that
Yeah.
nothing pops off on you. We don't want any pop-offs.
So Kim is getting ready to leave, I think. Is there something you need from me, baby?
No, I was just going to let you know that I brought my laptop out. Oh, right there.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to get you back up.
I got you.
Yours goes down.
Thank you. And you want me to plug that in and charge it when I leave? I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. We're here for those watching online, we're here for Jamie playing in the Toledo Open at the
Yes,
Belmont
good
Country
luck.
Club.
Tell Kim, good luck to Jamie.
Good luck to Jamie. Thank you, she says. And this
And-
is because he tees off before 9 o'clock. So we decided it's best, rather than me doing the show from home and speeding to Perrysburg, Ohio, Belmont Country Club, that I would do the show from the hotel. And I didn't know if I'd be able to do it tomorrow or not, but it seems to work.
It's perfect. Sounds great.
And then
Joe
tomorrow,
He says you have a pretty ghost behind you.
I know. She's made several guest appearances, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't think they could see me when you were off." And I went, "No, I'm on all
I
the
like
time."
seeing her.
I love seeing her, and I love you seeing her. But 7:32. Tomorrow, downtown in Campus Martius, I'll be helping out at 4 or 4:30 for Dollars for Scholars, Bill Young's fabulous organization that he put me on his advisory board for. So I'll be here for a little bit of the golf, and then I got to dash back.
Is that an outside event? What
It's
is
all
that?
outside. Yeah. It's just kind of a gathering because we had to cancel, like so many organizations, we had to cancel our big fundraising lunch. So this is kind of a fundraising outdoor event. Nope, I can't really think of a better way to describe it. Oops, I should get caught up on my and sending stuff to the hotel. Brian Morton sending stuff to the hotel worked very well. Mo here at this, where am I? It's the, I wrote it down so I would know. The Staybridge Suites, Toledo, Rossford, Perrysburg, more Rossford, Perrysburg than Toledo. Mo, who worked overnight, did a nice job of printing the stuff that Brian sent to him. Not until I called him to make sure he did it, but he did do it. And that's been very helpful for me. I always like printed stuff in front of me. I know a lot of people work off screens all the time now, but that's not me.
Wait, are you going to the Beirut?
Are we ever going to the Beirut tonight?
Oh.
I can't be this close to the Beirut. And on the way home, I'll stop and see Sweet Marie.
Oh, good.
Kim stopped there with Bernie and Allison, my sister and sister-in-law. The three of them were on the porch at Mother's house in Monroe visiting yesterday. I, of course, was running too late to try to get this set up in the hotel to make sure it even worked. Otherwise, I was going to turn around and go back after dinner with Tom and Vicki Romer at outside at the Real Seafood Company. But yeah, we are definitely doing the Beirut tonight. I love the Beirut. It's like Victor's Roofing. You had some Victor's Roofing work done. You said, I can't believe how good they were. And I said, that's how I feel. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. Well, same thing about the Beirut restaurant.
The best.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. And
No.
you know that too. They're the best.
It's amazing.
It
So
is.
do they have outdoor seating or will you be able to be inside?
No,
or
we'll
how
be
does that work?
inside. I can't say exactly where we're sitting, but they can. It's a big enough, especially in the
It's
back
big.
room.
Yeah.
It's big, and we'll be socially distancing. Plus, we'll have our masks on. Right
Sure,
up to
absolutely.
the
I'm glad they're open and functioning and everything's well because that is a great restaurant.
Oh, it's so well priced and it's so delicious. And the people, Labib and Karen
Really
Hajar,
nice here.
they're so great. They're just fabulous. I think my picture is being taken right now. She's videoing to capture the moment here. Kim is heading to the pool. What is that? No.
Patrick says, is Kim going to the pool?
Share and subscribe to YouTube channel. Thank you. I don't know what that is. Gomez L is asking people to do something. So is that a bot also?
I don't know, but I'm going to.
Joe Rotinsky, there's a pretty ghost behind you, Paul. And, somebody else wrote.
Go to USA.com for full disclosure.
Patrick Mendes wrote, special guest appearance by the wonderful Ms.
Motor.com for a
God
deeper
bless you all.
review.
Oh, Kim said, I'm heading to the pool.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
I always like that little bit of bumper music. Dick Hafner is here with us at 7:36. And Mr. Hafner, we'll be talking with the Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey about that headline. Group tops 400,000 signatures to repeal Governor Gretchen Whitmer's virus powers. How about that, Dick?
Well, that's probably a lot more signatures than they thought they would be able to collect. That's been kind of going under the radar here for a number of weeks. And I don't think it's a petition drive that would place something on the ballot, but you can ask Senator Shirkey about that.
I will. In fact, I'll write that down or I won't remember. On the ballot. And this is the oddest thing. This is at a time when one of the Detroit papers the other day, last week, said that she was at 59% approval. At one point, she was at 20 or 40%. Now she's at 59% approval by Michiganders, Michiganians, whichever you prefer, in terms of her handling the pandemic.
Well, I think her support has been pretty consistent, over 50% during most of this time. And does that make whatever the Republicans want to do in the state legislature more difficult? How do they try to fight the governor on this when public support seems to be for her and against them? I don't know.
Well, I think that 40%, I think it was, I can't remember, I just read too many things, was a year ago, before the pandemic. Right. People have been saying, wait a minute, what about the roads that were going to be fixed and some other issues like that? So the pandemic, all bets are off, except that tremendous more people than not feel she's done a very good job with the pandemic. And yet we have 400,000 people. And that's not easy to get 400,000 signatures for anything. And then they have. And so we will talk with Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey about that. And that's a good question, Dick. You always have good questions. And that is, does that mean it's going to be on the ballot to be voted on? I don't really know. I mean, otherwise, what would be the reason for getting that kind of
possibly to show public support? But I don't know what the mechanism would be to have this petition drive place something on a ballot. And I don't know that this drive would do that.
There's a goal of 500,000, and they're at 400,000 right now. And if at least 340,000 signatures are deemed valid by the state.
All right. Looks like that's what this is aimed at, putting something on a referendum.
Yeah. And rescinding at least that 75-year-old law that has, in her opinion, enabled her to issue and lift COVID-19 restrictions unilaterally. And there are a lot of people who will agree. They may agree with what she's doing, but they also would agree in terms of the various levels of power in government that she shouldn't be doing all of this alone, that she should fold the legislature in this to, just share the thoughts and share the responsibility.
Right. More collaboration on this.
Yeah.
Is what they say they're seeking. And I think, Paul W., if you're talking about something that requires the 340,000 signature threshold, getting 500,000, then I think this petition drive would be aimed at amending the Constitution. And there's a difference between a constitutional amendment giving the governor various powers and a law. A law can be easily changed by a vote of the legislature. Constitutional amendment needs a lot more work. One of them being a vote of the people in a referendum. But I'm sure Shirkey will clarify this for you.
All right, very good. And the police chief is going to join us near the end of the program. I think at 8:48. Let's see. Yeah, 8:48. Our great police chief, James Craig, as the city is asking for some changes in what that judge ruled about what police can use and not use. I don't believe, you might know, well, you would know better than I, but I don't believe the police have done anything out of the ordinary in terms of protecting people and property. I don't think they just go out and start shooting people with rubber bullets and spraying them with tear gas if they're just peacefully marching. I mean, am I wrong or right? Do you know? I mean, offhand, have you heard of anything?
I don't think so. However, I won't get into the right or wrong of this. The judge in this case, who is Lori Michelson, a federal judge, who basically we've never heard of before this case, came out and put a temporary injunction on Detroit police, basically ruling in a temporary way, virtually all in an affirmative way, for what the Detroit Breathe group came in and claimed against the police. This judge ruled temporarily in their favor on virtually every issue that they raised, and said that the likelihood of what they were claiming, they being the Detroit Breathe, the likelihood of what they were claiming would be upheld in court. That is what the federal judge said in her temporary ruling more than a week ago.
But I understand she had no evidentiary hearing or anything at all.
This was a temporary injunction.
But
there'll be a future hearing coming up.
Okay. So without even having an opportunity for the Detroit police to respond, she put it in. She said, okay, Detroit police, you can't do that anymore. And they didn't even have a chance to speak. But guess what? On WJR, here on the Paul W. Smith Show, the chief will get a chance to speak. Forget the federal judge we've never heard of, who is clearly playing politics and forgot what her job is really all about, interestingly enough. How unusual, he said. It is 7:44.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If finding a high-impact hire is a serious goal for your business, use Indeed. Their flexible payment options mean better bang for your buck with no long-term contracts. Indeed will even give you a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post at Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions apply.
Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey and that petition drive with 400,000 plus signatures to repeal Governor Gretchen Whitmer's virus powers, if you will, coming up next. Right now, it's our WJR Traffic and Weather first at 7:44, and Dana Clark.
Earlier accident along 75 southbound after Sashaba. That collision is clear. Upcoming construction that's going to kick off in Pontiac Tuesday, M59 eastbound between Saginaw and North Perry Street. All lanes will scheduled to close. That's starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. until October 4th. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by IBEW Local 58 and the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IBEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Safety and proper PPE use matter more than ever. Start safe, stay safe. www.poweringmichigansfuture.com.
High pressure builds in here for the start of the week. Sunny and a little cooler today, close to 70 this afternoon. Clear and cool tonight, 48. Sunshine, low 70s Tuesday. Sunny, mid to upper 70s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Thank you, Kenny. Over the years, our Michigan communities have been through many, many ups and downs. This year, without question, one of the most difficult we face together. But it brings comfort to know that when it comes to our health, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan continues to be here for it all. For 81 years, Blue Cross has been committed to helping everyone in Michigan achieve better health and to strengthening our communities. That's why they work with doctors in every county, providing insurance to people in every zip code, while also providing needed funds to care for the uninsured in free clinics across Michigan. And as we all look to the future, Blue Cross will be here, providing members on-demand access to the care they need through Blue Cross online visits, a 24-hour nurse line, and the Blue Cross mobile app. For generations, Blue Cross has stood behind their members' care and the communities we call home. Blue Cross is here for it all and always will be. You can learn more at hereforitall.com. That's hereforitall.com. Heading towards 747 with Paul W. JR.
If you're approaching retirement, you probably have all sorts of questions running through your head. When should I start Social Security? What choices should I make with my Medicare supplements? Do I take the spousal benefit on my pension or not? Can I really retire now? Am I getting a good enough return on my investments? Am I taking too much risk? Taxes, fees, cash, 401ks, IRAs. All of those questions are just noise. Now, don't get us wrong. They're important questions to ask, but when you have 50 questions that you're trying to answer at the same time, it all just becomes noise. What we want to do is take that noise and turn it into music. At R.W. Paul & Associates, we are here to help with our CPR process, Complete Planning Review. It's a complimentary, no obligation look at your financial and retirement plan. Call us right now to schedule a time to visit. 248-305-9911. Tell us you're tired of the noise and you want to turn it into music. That's 248-305-9911. And don't forget to listen to The Rich Paul Show, Saturday mornings at 9 and Monday nights at 7, right here on WJR.
Hey guys, four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty here for Pain Free Life Centers. And guys, let's be honest here. When I played as a professional athlete, when I rolled out of bed and I was aching, well, I was getting paid for it. Pain was part of the job. Nobody's paying me to be in pain these days. I seek to be out of pain. That's what Pain Free Life Centers has given me. The FDA-approved, high-intensity, high-dosage laser treatment lets your body heal at the cellular level with no pills, no surgeries, no side effects, no injections. So you walk out of there feeling amazing. Trust me, if it can help me with all the pain that I have to deal with, it can help you too. And my friend Jeff is so certain he can help you too. Your consultation and first treatment are absolutely free. You literally have nothing to lose but your pain. Make your appointment. Call 248-879-1100 or go to painfreelifecenters.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
You're hearing The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Well, I know that the governor has thus far been able to fight the coronavirus and fight those who would fight her with her what they call power grab, and but there is something that is underway that may change all of that. She may be, as they say from the Associated Press, be unable to stop a Republican maneuver that would rescind that 75-year-old law that has enabled her, in her opinion, to issue and lift COVID-19 restrictions unilaterally. A ballot drive announced at the end of this past week that they were in the home stretch after collecting more than 400,000 signatures in just 2 months. Their goal is 500,000. They need 340,000 signatures to be deemed valid to get this on the ballot and try to rescind that 1945 law. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey is here. And you've got to be pleased, Michael, with the success so far with this petition.
Paul, I've been doing, good morning to you. I've been doing what I view my Unlock Michigan tour around Michigan, like you do your Pure Michigan tour. And it's been one of the most inspiring things I've ever witnessed. A little clarification is required, though. This is not a Republican effort. This is a citizen-initiated law effort. This is the grassroots of grassroots. Now, I openly support it, and for reasons that we'll talk about in a moment. But this is being driven by citizens across the state. By the way, I believe that this week we'll probably announce close to 450,000 signatures. I think that's what likely is going to happen this week. And you were correct. Our target of the effort is 500,000, which is a big margin over the 340,000 required. But this is not a ballot proposal. It's a citizen-initiated law. And let me, if I may, just explain the differences. This is the ability for citizens to put law into place or to repeal laws if they don't think their government, whether it's the legislature or a governor, is representing them correctly. And so once the signatures are certified, it's presented to the legislature, and there are three options the legislature has. One is to do nothing and let it go onto the next ballot, which would be in 2022, and voted on then. A second option would be the legislature could offer an alternative to the citizen-initiated law, and then both of those would go on the next ballot. And then the third option is the legislature could simply adopt it and put it into law, and a governor cannot veto that. And that is probably the choice that we'd likely take once the certification process is completed, which will be the next conversation you and I have probably in about 3 weeks, whether or not that's going to be done in a timely manner. But that provides some clarity. This is not a constitutional thing. This is citizens-initiated law.
Well, and I shame on me, because I was just reading what I had, and that was the Associated Press as printed in the Detroit Free Press. That's why they say, but she may be unable to stop a Republican maneuver. So they take the negative. They take a negative stance on it because, let's face it, they are not Republicans at the Associated Press or at the Detroit Free Press. I mean, a fact is a fact. They're leaning.
We can. That's right. It's that we don't need to state the obvious.
No. So meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, give me your reasons why. You started to say in a moment, I can list all those, your reasons why this is extremely important, and why, in your words, the citizens of Michigan, not the Republicans, not the Democrats, because, I mean, think of it. Would we want a Republican? Well, for the Democrats, ask, would you want a Republican in this same position with unlimited power? And I think most of the Democrats would say, no, we wouldn't want a Republican with unlimited power. So give me again your reasons why this is very important, Mike.
Nobody really understood how vulnerable the citizens of Michigan were to the inappropriate use of this old 1945 law. We actually have two laws on the books governing emergency declarations. The 1976 law, I believe, is a fairly written one and provides a good balance of power and a separation of power, and ensures that there's robust debate after a fashion. In this case, it's 28 days. Our current governor's interpretation of the 1945 law basically says the legislature has no role for perpetuity as long as the emergency declaration is in place. And that basically bypasses the legislative process. And one thing that we can all agree on, I believe, is that more often than not, we do not want government operating A, unilaterally, or B, too quickly. We want it to be a robust, debated process. Now, I don't have to go through a long list of the more than 175 different executive orders that have been full of ambiguities, absurdities, sometimes just head-scratching requirements. And all of those kinds of things, by the way, nobody in the legislature, including and especially me, have been in any way denying that we have a real battle on our hands dealing with this COVID-19. And, we extended the emergency declaration under the 1976 law at one time. But then at that point in time, when it was clear that there's going to be a diversion of approach, we decided we needed to stop that and then go back to the negotiation table. And that's when they decided to lean heavily on the 1945 law. We don't think the 1945 law is unlawful. We just think the interpretation of it is unlawful. And by the way, he didn't mention this, but we were also pursuing this in the Supreme Court.
You currently?
Yes.
All right. Well,
yes.
And if you just need a summary of how bizarre the picking and choosing by one person is, my best, and I'll only use one example, and that was when the decision was made, it was okay to go out on a sailboat, which certainly could hold any number of people, but not okay to go out on a motorboat. That clearly had nothing to do with COVID-19, but a lot to do with an environmental stance that thinks stink boats, motorboats are bad. sailboats, wind-driven boats are good. I mean, that was too obvious, and that one made me go, wait a minute. And there have been many others since, and for that matter, before.
Yeah, well, a more recent example is the difference between opening gyms and opening theaters. Now, I maintain that there's very little difference there. Both had sued the governor. One repealed or rescinded their suit and were allowed to open, but the other, the theaters, didn't do so, and they're still closed. It just makes no sense.
No, some of the theater owners have rescinded, but the point is they're dying. These are businesses that are dying. And I again say it's not that they were bullying the governor, they were screaming to survive. And many of them will not. And to me, that is so very unfortunate. I agree with you, Michael. They certainly can distance themselves in a theater. But be that as it may, we'll be watching, and you'll be getting back in touch with us, and we'll be talking, sir. Thank you so much.
Hold me a spot for the conversation about certification of the signatures, my friend.
Yes, sir. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
As we continue on News Talk 760 at 7:58.
This report is sponsored by Ascension Care Teams at GetAscensionMichiganCare.com. Ascension caregivers are here with you, and they're not going anywhere. At this time, you can still get the care you need when you need it. They're making sure their hospitals and sites of care are safe and ready for you when you need them. In-person and virtual visits. Get the care you need at GetAscensionMichiganCare.com.
Coming up, U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan, Matthew Schneider. More on the COVID-19 cash being misused. Dan Miller, the voice of Lions with Lomas Brown, and Steve Courtney joining us on Lions Radio at 8:35. At 8:48, our great Detroit Police Chief Deputy Mayor James Craig on that federal judge, Lori Michelson, and her unilateral decision to put a stop to Detroit police being able to do their jobs. But right now, it's our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Dana Clark.
Right now, accident-free Paul W. Just seeing a slight delay along 75 northbound. Stop and go between 696 and 12 Mile. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Super Car Wash. Want your car to shine? Visit one of Super Car Wash's 11 locations throughout Metro Detroit. Enjoy unlimited car washes at all 11 locations for just $12.95 a month. Super Car Wash features free vacuums and free hand towel drying. Looks super. Go unlimited today. We are expecting a super day this Monday to kick off the week of staying dry over the next several days. Lots of sunshine today, a high of 68, clear tonight, low 49. For Tuesday, more sun, a high of 72. And the sunshine continues on hump day. Lots of sunshine, a high of 79. Sunny, 58 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 1 minute.
Time to get your fix of Lions news. Here's Lions Daily with Steve Courtney.
Tommy, if you've heard it before, in the fourth quarter yesterday at Ford Field, the Lions built a 23-6 fourth quarter lead on the Bears, only to go on to lose 27-23. Matt Patricia says plenty of blame to go around.
You know, it starts with me. I got to do a better job coaching and making sure that, we're in good situations, and we got to go out and we got to execute when we need to. So the veterans understand that, the coaches understand that, the young guys understand that. It's, there's a lot of plays that were left out there that we all got to do a better job of. And, it's the first game of the year, and we haven't had any preseason games, and we know certainly that, it all counts. So we got to get going.
Up next, an early season visit to Lambeau Field to face the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. That's a 1 o'clock kick. We'll have it for you at 10 right here on Lions Radio.
That's Lions Daily on Lions Radio 760 WJR.
Have you been told you need spine surgery or just sick of living in pain? The Disc Institute has a proven, painless alternative. If your neck, back, or sciatic pain is due to a herniated, degenerative, or bulging disc, then you actually have two problems. One, your pain, and two, your bad disc. Drugs, therapies, epidurals, and new pain lasers are designed to only treat your pain, but they're not designed to treat your disc problem. And this is crucial because your bad disc is what's causing your pain in the first place. Without addressing your disc problem, your problem will get worse, which can ultimately lead to surgery. At the Disc Institute, we have a proven solution to solve both of your problems, your pain and the bad disc that's causing it, with our high-tech, non-invasive treatments. This is what can stop your pain without surgery. We'll even review your MRI for no charge.
To schedule an appointment at the Farmington, Clinton Township, or Grand Blanc locations, call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472.
WJR Detroit and WDVD HD2 Detroit. The great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, where Detroit comes to talk.
Prisoners at the Michigan Department of Corrections facility in Kinross. The Upper Peninsula Kinross Prison briefly took control of a unit of the prison after a fight late Sunday night. That unit is back under control of the prison staff. Inmates left their cells during a fight and after guards tased one of the inmates. The state police and U.S. Border Patrol was called in, and they helped retake the area along with the prison guards. 2 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies were shot and were in critical condition after an ambush. They were in their car outside the train station in Compton, California, when a man with a gun approached the patrol car, fired into the car, and then ran off. The 31-year-old female deputy and 24-year-old male deputy shot inside their car. They're critical. President Trump at a large rally in Henderson, Nevada.
Our thoughts are with the 2 sheriff's deputies in Los Angeles.
Hello, Dubster.
Fighting for their...
Any banana?
Everything good?
Yeah. Kim is on her way.
Okay. And we've got everything you need for the next hour.
I think so. Next up will be Dick.
Yes.
And then
Matthew
Schneider. I think I have a story here to print. Dan Miller, Chief Craig. I think I have everything.
Beautiful. Okay. There is a Lions Rewind that they put together.
I heard the Lions report.
I just heard a Lions Daily, but Brian has our producer Dave Rieger puts together a Lions Rewind that we could throw in somewhere here.
Now would be the time to separate it from Dan Miller.
Right. We could actually, you and Dick could listen to it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Brian says that it runs 2:53, so you can open up the show and bring Dick into it. Apparently there's some that last play I think might be in there, that kind of thing.
I suspect it is.
Mm-hmm. So you guys could pop that in there. Brian,
all right.
Brian, be ready. He's listening, so he's ready to go. And I think that's it for the moment.
Look at this. Patrick Mendez has noticed a change in view from your camera.
Yes, I got kicked out of the office because Ed has a hearing at 8:30.
That is so funny.
So, Patrick, good observation there.
I didn't even look up, so I didn't notice it, Patrick. Good for you. Now I got to find the stories though.
What do you need? I'm right here. I can send whatever.
The next 2 stories. I'm looking for my rundown that you and Dave sent earlier.
Detroit man who spent COVID-19 cash on new cars.
I could use that and anything you have on Dan Miller. I don't need anything, but the Matthew Schneider story I could use, and if there's anything from the old story about Chief James Craig and the judge.
Yeah. Okay.
I had that before, but I don't think I have it now.
Okay. Let's find this first one from Matthew. There were also some shootings overnight too.
I don't have anything like that, so if you can find that, that'd be great.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to send this one first. What does that mean? COVID-19 cash on new cars. You mean he got money and then
Yeah. And there was there's a lot of money out there. So that's an issue. Whenever there's a lot of money, there's a lot of fraud. And that's just sadly the way it is.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. I hope you had a great weekend and that you're raring to go as we are into this Monday. I'm on the road because we're following Jamie in the Toledo Classic, the Toledo Open, I guess, at the beautiful Belmont Country Club, Belmont Golf and Country Club, where Van Brandt is the golf pro. He's in the senior division, in fact, of the Toledo Open. Jamie in the younger division. It has begun today, and we're here following him. So I'm in a Staybridge Suites in the Toledo, Rossford, Perrysburg area, and that's how they market it. And we're happy to be here and happy to be with you, and therefore that means we're on our social media throughout the entire broadcast, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, however you follow us, along with good old-fashioned 760 on the AM dial. Did I already say it's Monday, September 14th, the 258th day of 2020 with 108 days left in the year? Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And coming up, we are going to hear from Matthew Schneider, U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan, on people misusing their COVID-19 money. Dan Miller, the voice of the Lions on Lions Radio, along with Lomas Brown, but Steve Courtney will join us this morning in conversation with Dan Miller on Lions Radio at 8:35. And at 8:48, our fine Detroit Police Chief and Deputy Mayor James Craig on that federal judge deciding how the police should or should not police. And it's kind of ridiculous, but kind of sums up the day, doesn't it? Meanwhile, Dick Hafner, we all suffered through the Lions game. I allowed myself to believe that this year was different, that when we go into the fourth quarter with a large lead like that we're going to be okay, and we're going to start the season off with a win. We only had 3 wins last year, and everything was going to be wonderful, and it was going to make our day, our week, and our Lions season spectacular. Didn't work out that way.
No, didn't work out that way, but it still can be different than the other seasons. Thankfully, there are 15 more games to go.
Well, here's hoping that it will be a lot different. Here's hoping we win all the rest of the games, but we didn't win the first game that we had won, except we forgot to hang on to the win to walk off the field with that victory. Dave Rieger, who has helped produce the morning show when Ann is away, like last week, and for the wedding, and also works on Lions football, has put together for us, as painful as this might now be, a Lions Rewind. Let's listen to that together.
Here's Lions Rewind.
Getting set for the 180th all-time regular season meeting between these two franchises. Bears lead the all-time series with a record of 174-5. Muehlbach the snap, there it is. Kick is up and away, and it is good. And the Lions are on the board first. It is Detroit 3 and Chicago nothing. There's the snap, spot, kick away. It is up, and it is good. We have a tie game. Bears with the equalizer. It is 3-3 with 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Muehlbach to snap. There it is. Fox the hold. Kick is away. It's up, and it is good. And it's now the Lions 6 and the Bears 3 with 5:33 to go here in the first half. Jairo Santos good from 35 earlier, from 28 here. It is up, and it is good. And we have a 6-6 game with 2:02 to go. Stafford, inside handoff. DeAndre Swift into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. The rookie with his first NFL touchdown, and the Lions take the lead. Matthews got it, wants to throw. Looks, pumps, throws, end zone. It is caught. Yes. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. T.J. Hawkinson. There's the snap. Spot down. Kick on the way. It is up, and it is good. And that's big. That extends the Lions to a 3-score lead, 23-6. Trubisky wants to throw. Does right side. It is caught. Touchdown. Tight end Jimmy Graham. Long count. Takes the snap. Trubisky rolling left. Looking. Throwing. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Matthews got it. Back. Looks. Throws over the middle. It is knocked up in the air. That is going to be intercepted by the Bears. It is picked up by Fuller. Coming back the other way. He's taken down at the 36-yard line of Detroit. Trubisky on first down. Takes the snap. Wants to throw. Loads up. Throws deep right side. Wants Miller out there. Got him. Is he in the end zone? He is. Touchdown Bears. They've got the lead. 3-man rush for Chicago. Stafford loads and throws.
Yes!
Caught! No, he dropped it on you. No! DeAndre Swift dropped it. It was a touchdown in his hands. Oh, no. Stafford's got it again. Rolling right. This should be the final play. Matthew looks, throws to the end zone. It is knocked away, incomplete. Jalen Johnson, and that's it. Bears come from 23-6 down in the fourth quarter to beat the Lions 27-23.
That was Lions Rewind on Lions Radio, 760 WJR.
Kind of like Lions Unwind, Dick. I don't know. I sat there really, call me an idiot. I really thought we were going to win. The last thing I ever wanted to hear anyone say was, here we go again. And unfortunately, I don't know about you, Richard, but I've heard it a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, we're used to this. As we were told, as you were told by Steve Courtney in the last hour, we've seen this movie before. Yeah. That's probably the most frustrating part of all of this. And fortunately, it is one game. Although the Lions are at Green Bay next week, and Green Bay look pretty good.
Yeah, Green Bay's looking good. So it'd be even sweeter to beat Green Bay. I hope the team is looking at it that way as well. Speaking of Dan Miller, Dan and Lomas Brown doing a great job here on Lions Radio. Dan will be with us at 8:35. Chief James Craig at 8:48. Coming up next at 8:18, Matthew Schneider. Talk about good people. Matthew Schneider, U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan, will be with us here on WJR, where it is almost 8:14.
This report is sponsored by Dell.
Dell's semi-annual sale is on, with up to 45% off business laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, along with servers and electronics, all with free shipping. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL, or visit Dell.com/business deals.
And we're going to ask Dana Clark right now at 8:14, our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
New accident, Paul W. in Lyon Township, 96 westbound at Wixom Road. It is blocking the right shoulder, seeing a delay along 75 northbound between 696 and 11 Mile. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Marathon. No matter where your travels take you, Marathon can improve your engine performance with quality top-tier gasoline. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Nice stretch of weather here for the start of the week with high pressure building in. Sunny and cooler today, close to 70. Clear, cool tonight, upper 40s. Sunny and low 70s Tuesday, mid to upper 70s with sunshine Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on Newstalk 760 WJR.
I'm going to guess that yes, there it is. My note from Brian Morton reminds me that the very thing that Ann talked about much earlier, she had some repairs done by Victor's Roofing and said she could not believe how great they are. I said, Ann, I wouldn't tell my listeners that they were great if they weren't. There's no amount of money you could pay me to say something I didn't believe was true. And I believe that Victor's Roofing is spectacular based on my own experience of a replacement on an old house and on a brand new building with a brand new roof. They've just done a great job. It's kind of like eating at a great restaurant, like the Beirut in Toledo, and then being able to tell everyone about it. I've told people about that restaurant, the Beirut restaurant in Toledo, in Detroit, in Philadelphia, and New York City. I talk about them because I believe in them and have experienced them for over 40 years. And it's always funny when I'm there and people say, oh, you really come to the Beirut? Are you kidding me? It's like saying, oh, you really come to Ahe Jewelers? Of course I do. Oh, you really had Victor do your roof? Yes. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't believe in him. Victor's completely replaced our roof a couple years ago now. I can't remember working ever with a roofing company as professional as Victor's Roofing, and Ann said the same thing. And Victor wants me to remind you they do it all when it comes to roofs. You name it, they do it. Repairs, full replacements, gutters, attic insulation. Attic insulation coming into this season, boy, that's a good idea. And of course, their revolutionary new Roof Max spray-on roof treatment that they tell me can add years of life to your old worn-out shingles. It's like moisturizing lotion for your roof. Winter's going to be here soon. I'm sorry, it says so in the copy. I have to say it, and it's unfortunately true. Winter's going to be here soon. Get your roof taken care of before things get bad. Call them today for a complimentary inspection and estimate, 734-6666-914. That's 734-6666-914. Or book an appointment online at victorsroofing.com. victorsroofing.com. It is 8:17 at 760 WJR. Matthew Schneider, U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan, extraordinaire, coming up next.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen. In the empty stadiums, in the empty schools, in the empty theaters, you can hear it. Hope is setting the stage for our comeback. Because hope is a powerful thing. It can bring us together and be the bridge that helps us to get to the other side. And each of life's victories is a little sweeter. We will celebrate how far we've come and learn that all we did, the hand washing, the social distancing, the mask wearing, we did for each other. Don't lose hope, Michigan. Not now. Spread hope, not COVID. See how at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Lear has a reputation for identifying industry trends and acting on them. As the industry continues to transform, Lear faces the future of the vehicle with an even bolder vision. Lear, making every drive better. To learn more, visit Lear.com.
You're hearing The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760. WJR.
So glad you're with us Monday through Friday from 5:30 till 9 here on News Talk 760 WJR, the great voice of the Great Lakes and the great voice of reason, law, and order. Matthew Schneider joins us, U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan. Matthew, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paul W. I was so glad to hear what you just said about the truth that you're telling your listeners. You said that you really go to Victor's Roofing. You use them. You really go to the Beirut restaurant, and you're telling your listeners the truth. Because if you were not, that would be a fraud. And that, unfortunately, is exactly what is happening in the country today with people stealing money from the government through things like the Paycheck Protection Program. It's a fraud. People are saying that they are using these businesses, and they're not. And we have a tremendous increase right now where we have people are getting money from the government for protection from the pandemic. And unfortunately, they're lying, and they're saying that they need it. And it's just deceiving the government and stealing money from the taxpayers. And it's really unfortunate.
Matthew, sadly, it occurred to me when I heard about these programs, now into the, I think, trillions of dollars, I thought, man, that's a lot of money. And whenever there's a lot of money, it doesn't take too many people to put a fraud together and steal. And that is apparently what at least one man, the first person in Detroit, maybe the first person in Michigan, to basically be charged and convicted, if you will, of defrauding the emergency loan program that has been out there to help businesses survive the COVID-19 outbreak. When I think of the people, there are a lot of people who have gotten money. I mean, a lot of people who have gotten money. But I do hear from people from time to time who say they didn't get money. They didn't get it. I feel especially bad for them to then have a guy like this taking this money that's supposed to help his business survive and going out and buying cars and having a ball.
Because there's only so much money that Congress has allocated, and Congress has given money for people who are affected by the pandemic. And Congress has said, we want to help you. We want to help your small business. We want to help your downtown restaurant or your bakery. We want to make sure that you survived. But we have a tremendous increase in fraudsters who are stealing money out of that program and making up fake businesses. And instead of, using it for what it's supposed to be, they're buying, lavish things for themselves, high luxury goods and, Cadillac Escalades. And they don't really need it, but they're just stealing it. And what's really sad is that the more people steal from this program, the less there is available for the people who truly need it. And so that's why our office is working so hard to prosecute and investigate these cases.
It's not only sad, Matthew, it's downright stupid. Do you think this guy thinks it was worth it now that he's facing felony charges punishable by up to 30 years? 30 years in federal prison?
Well, that's why I'm so glad that we were able to talk about this, because there are a lot of people who think they won't get caught. And, as I've indicated in the past, this is really like shooting fish in a barrel for a prosecutor. It's a paper trail. It's so obvious to us when people steal money out of these government loans, we can track them down. We're able to catch all these folks. So if anyone is thinking about doing this, stealing money from the Paycheck Protection Program, it's only a matter of time before the FBI or the banks are going to catch up to you, and we'll be able to catch you and prosecute you.
It's an excellent point. There is a paper trail, and you have people following those paper trails. Meanwhile, Matthew, tell me about everything else that's going on. Also tell me, I don't know if you want to jump into this, but you have the federal judge, Lori Michelson, I guess is her name, who has basically said, Detroit police, you can't use tear gas or rubber bullets anymore. You can't do your job, without really hearing from the police department as to the way they've done their job, which I think, all in all, has been very well done. Any thoughts on that, or do you stay out of that sort of stuff?
Well, I just spoke with Chief Craig a few days ago about this issue, and I don't think that's going to impact them a lot, because they are following their proper procedures in the Detroit Police Department, and they will still continue to take actions against protesters when they are violent. So hopefully it will not impact them in a way that will cause harm to the safety of the community. What I'm more concerned about, Paul W., is the shooting of these two Los Angeles sheriff's deputies who were just ambushed. And they were ambushed and in an assassination attempt. It was really an attempt
sitting
to murder.
Sitting in their car.
Yeah.
Someone walks up behind them and shoots them.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
and then I saw the video.
that?
Right. I just saw the video of the protesters outside the emergency room saying, "I hope they die."
Oh my!
We should all be outraged at this. This is unbelievable. I mean, we're not letting the police do their jobs, and then you're assassinating police officers. Everybody in the country should be outraged at that. It's unbelievable.
It's disgusting that the institutional media, at the behest of the Democrats in a political year, would keep these stories below the radar or not give them the attention they should. You want to be outraged about something, be outraged about that. Be outraged about people who try to seal the doors on a police precinct and then set it on fire, hoping that the officers inside burn to death. You want to be upset about something, news media and Democrats, be upset about that.
Well, it's something everybody should be upset about. And look, as a law enforcement official, I know that I've always got a better way to do my job. I can always improve. And we've got a lot of improvements to do in law enforcement. And that's really true, because we need to strive for better policing, better law enforcement, and to work toward an end in racial injustice. I get that, and I agree with that. However, we can't now turn our actions against the police and try to murder them. It's unacceptable. You know, when you have an emergency situation, you're going to call 911, and a brave man or woman is going to come out from the police department to help you. And that's going to happen no matter what. And we need to continue to support our police officers every day because they're here to help us ultimately.
Absolutely right. Matthew Schneider, fine U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Michigan. Thank you, sir, as always, for being with us. I appreciate it.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
You do the same, Matthew. It is 8:27 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Grapes from California. Want a snack packed with goodness? Here's a fresh idea. Go with Grapes from California every day. Healthy, delicious California grapes, the snack you'll feel good about. Available at Kroger.
Anti-police protesters yelling, "We hope they die," outside the hospital where the wounded deputies were taken. That's so sick and so unbelievable and so shameful and embarrassing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why everybody isn't in the streets complaining about that stupidity. We've got our WJR traffic and weather first with Miss Dana Clark.
Earlier accident, 96 westbound at Wixom Road. That incident is clear. Now we have a situation, an accident on the flip side of that. 96 eastbound at Wixom Road, accident blocks the right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Restore Wellness Center. Are you experiencing nagging body pain? The Restore Wellness Center can help relieve or eliminate neck and back pain, arthritis, tendonitis, muscle soreness, and more. Call the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment centers today. Get your first treatment free. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. A great day ahead this Monday. Kick off the week. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 68 tonight. Clear skies, low 49. More sun on Tuesday, hitting 72. Sunshine, 58 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News, with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
As politicians fight over our battleground state this year, ARP is fighting to lift the voices of African American women across Michigan. National and state leaders need to hear what we need from them. So I invite you to join a celebrity panel and others to help create a health and wealth agenda that can guide our elected leaders to better serve Michigan women 50 and older. My Sisters and Friends, Conversations That Count is a free event that's open to all. RSVP at aarp.org/MI.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, get 0 down at 0% APR for 84 months and
Annie Banani. Annie? I can't
Hello.
hear you. Oh, there we go.
I was muted.
Anything, I don't need anything on the Lions. Anything on any other new stuff on Chief Craig?
I haven't seen anything new. You have the story, the one that Dave sent us about the actual change.
No.
All right, let's try this one.
I don't have it. I mean, I have it somewhere, but not easily found in my hundreds of now emails as the world wakes up.
It goes on.
I can't even find, well, wait a minute. Dave.
That's okay. I can send it too.
Oh, you have it? Good. Yeah, send it. That'll be a lot easier than me trying to find it.
Now, the one interesting thing is, let's see how.
Whoops. Hang on 1 second. 1 second.
I just sent it to you, Deb. No, I can't. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
You couldn't hear me because I was muted after I took that phone call. But I'm not. I just hit.
No, I just sent it.
You sent it. I saw it in the corner. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's the link.
See if
City
it opens
changes order banning. I got you.
Let me just look at
A lot of stuff. Oh, I just got rid of it, and it went to the hurricane. Just a second. Jeez. Too many things popping up here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm having a world of hurt with the newspapers. You know, they're making it more difficult. I understand they need to make money and all of that, but I'm sure they want us to be quoting their stories.
As part of your subscription, because I know you get them every day.
Yeah.
Don't you also have?
I haven't taken time to, I still got 2 Sunday papers on Sunday, which is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Well, one for you and one for Kim.
Yeah. We don't need to do that. We're trying to cut expenses, not add ridiculous expenses. And the problem is, because of the way the newspapers are, they don't offer papers for delivery every day. So I'm getting papers from the newspaper on the days they deliver. Plus, then I had to hire, through the newspaper's help, a delivery service to deliver the papers they don't usually deliver because I need them every day. And that's just so screwed up. It's impossible to get through it. It's going to take me sitting down and getting all 3 entities, the 2 delivery people and the newspaper itself, on the same boat, same line, because I'm paying this person and paying that person. And then all of a sudden the paper says, well, you haven't paid us. Well, wait a minute. I paid them. I'm paying hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, something screwed up there,
newspapers. And, soon I won't be.
No, but you know what? As part of that subscription for the
I'm
physical
supposed to be
paper,
able to use the online.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
because, but the interesting thing is you have to log in every time,
which is ridiculous.
It would be nice to be able to, if you're paying that, which I am, it would be nice to be able to stay logged in.
Yeah. How hard is that?
Because you're going to miss stories. Like I'm just looking now to make sure that we have the latest on for the chief,
Yep.
There were some shootings over the weekend, but it doesn't look like it was horrible.
Kim sent this story about anti-police protesters yell, "We hope they die," outside the hospital where those wounded deputies were taken. And then, even before that, they were in place blocking the hospital entrance when the ambulances transporting the 2 wounded officers arrived. I would have plowed through those people blocking the driveway in order to save the police officers' lives. I would have had no problem plowing through and getting those police officers the help they needed. What is wrong with these people?
I do not understand what's going on. I don't understand this. This is just terrible. I mean, we cannot treat our police officers like that. We just can't.
It's unbelievable.
It is really scary.
Unacceptable and unbelievable.
All right. So I think that's it for the chief.
Yeah, I don't believe me. We'll have plenty to talk about.
I don't see anything else. Yeah, no, I just don't.
We have, let me check. See, I got to switch over to see from Brian if Dan is there. Dan Miller and Steve are standing by. Excellent.
Standing by. Okay. I'm going backstage. If I see anything else, I'll be back on with the chief for the info on the chief.
I want you to sneak the computer in to see Barrister Battersby
in action.
Out of the office in action. I want to hear him in action preparing for his big court case.
So funny.
That go over big with Sam, I know.
Oh, right.
And Edmund, if you have just a moment, did I see you online discussing your court case?
That's very funny.
All right, Annie, thank you.
All right, see you in a bit.
The help as always.
This message.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance.
James Lush.
Fuel your life. Marathon. Fueling the American spirit.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Really? The new theme. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I was right there with you, believing that the Lions were the new Lions. This really was going to be a spectacular new season. We're winning 23-6 going into the fourth quarter. Certainly, we're going to walk away with a big, well-deserved win, and we're excited to be underway. And that's not exactly how it went. I got to give credit to Dan Miller, the voice of Lions football on Lions Radio, right here, Lomas Brown, our own Steve Courtney and Sean Belegian, and all the folks that put together, as best they could, a stiff upper lip during and after the Lions game. And Mr. Courtney, I felt your pain, and your pain was the same as all of our pain. How could it not be?
Well, sadly, my friend, as the fourth quarter unfolded, I felt compelled to jump into a DeLorean because we were going back to the future. A lot of reasons for it. Let's talk about it with the voice himself, Mr. Danny Miller. Danny,
Morning, Dan.
how are you?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, here we go. Obviously, everybody realizes what transpired at Ford Field yesterday there, Dan, and it's a real head scratcher. History does repeat itself. Lions up 23-6. They were up 24-6 in the desert to open up last season. And a play here, a play there. And the bottom line is this. Mitchell Trubisky, 12 touchdown throws against the Lions in the last 4 games.
Well, right now you'd have to say that the Lions have been able to keep his NFL career going because against everybody else, he's really struggled. But you said it's a play here and a play there. And if you extrapolate that out, it's plays by pretty much each unit on the team that contributed to them being able to fall apart and lose that game. And it's not just one thing. I mean, the most glaring error that was made was DeAndre Swift's drop touchdown pass, and that was a heartbreaker. But there were things that happened before that, offense, defense, special teams, that put them in that position. So look, good teams make plays in the fourth quarter. Most games in the NFL are close. The Lions didn't make plays in the fourth quarter yesterday, and they're 0-1, and you're going to have to prove that you're a good team and that you can actually get that done. And you said it, this is kind of history repeating itself. Fourth quarters have not been kind to the Lions because they have not made the plays the past couple of years in close games to win them.
I so desperately didn't want to say, here we go again, but how can you not say that? Give me some way, guys. You're the sports guys, Steve and Dan. Give me some way to not say, oh my God, here we go again.
Well, you can't right now, Paul. That's the bottom line here. You just can't because you know what? The Lions talked about this throughout this bizarre offseason, that they couldn't get themselves into a situation that we saw time and time again a year ago. They get this dagger thing going. This team understands what went wrong a year ago. And I'll be darned if the first game of the new campaign ends just like this. Dan, there's a couple of plays that stand out. I want your opinion. We begin with the Lions up 23-13 in that fourth quarter. Matt Patricia decides to send Matt Prater out for that 55-yard field goal attempt. Based on his resume, he's been pretty much money. Your thoughts on that decision?
There were others that I would be more critical of, plays that were made. I understand that one. I understand the argument on it. I'm probably right down the middle, and I don't mean to ride the fence on this one. But I also find it hard to come down against Matt Prater because you've got a chance there to, again, stretch that thing just a little bit more, put a little more pressure on Chicago with a field goal that he has made often. There's a case to be made to punt and put them back on their heels a little bit. One of the problems is the sack that was taken before that forced that field goal to become much longer. That's one that Matthew Stafford can't take. That's one that he's got to get rid of the ball. So it's one mistake that leads to another. and one mistake that leads to a conversation that probably shouldn't have been a conversation about a field goal. It shouldn't have been 55 yards. It should have been probably in the mid-40s.
Well, not to mention at that juncture, you are now without your two starting corners. And defensively, things are going south. And I don't know if that figured into Coach Patricia's decision to go for the 3 to make it a 26-13 tilt at that time. Shortly after that, Lions up 23-20, 3rd and 6 at their 29, 2:45 left. And what we've seen transpire, a play against the Lions, the last thing they needed was a pick. Mr. Fuller did exactly that. Not good.
Just Matthew can't make that throw. Just from my read of that play and looking at the replays, there's too much traffic there. He tried to force it into a very, very small window, if there was one at all, from Marvin. Gets knocked up in the air, and it ends up being an interception. Chicago gets the ball in plus territory. So instead of allowing Fox to come on and punt, and by the way, let's give credit where credit is due. He had a terrific first game.
Huge.
Instead of allowing Fox to come on to punt, they've got the ball in great position. So it's just, you can't have that there. But again, Steve, back up a little bit. 1st and 2nd down, they give the ball to Adrian Peterson. That's where good teams are able to burn up and churn up the clock. But they only came up with, I think, 4 or 5 yards to put them in that position. 4 yards, I think it was, to put them in that 3rd and 6th position. And then they had to throw to try to keep the ball. So running game's better. You don't put yourself in that position. So, it all goes back to what Paul W. said a couple of minutes ago. I forget his exact words when he said, "Tell me this is different." Respectfully, it's not up to us to tell you it's different. It's up to them to show us it's different. We're waiting to see this is different. We want this to be different. We want to believe this is different. But the proof is in the final score. The proof isn't what you do in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. The proof is in what that scoreboard says when everybody walks off the field. Matt Patricia would be the first one to tell you that. And he walks off the field a whole lot of times, winning big and winning big games. But it hasn't happened here, and that's the turnaround that has to happen.
And it isn't Matt missing a field goal when they're still 10 points ahead. It isn't at the end of the game, young Swift dropping a pass. It is that they were winning 23-6 going into the 4th quarter, and they still lost.
And then it's all of those things that add up to not winning. It's all of the plays. It's not running the ball. It's making a bad decision on a throw. It's missing a field goal. It's a questionable decision on whether or not you go for the field goal. It's a drop pass. All those things add up to blowing a 17-point lead in the 4th quarter. It's not one, it's all of them, and they all add up to not good enough, which was the bottom line yesterday.
Dan Miller, voice of the Lions, along with Lomas Brown, and our own Steve Courtney. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much here on News Talk 760 WJR at 844.
This report is sponsored by Grapes from California. Want a snack packed with goodness? Here's a fresh idea. Go with Grapes from California every day. Healthy, delicious California grapes, the snack you'll feel good about. Available at Kroger.
Coming up, our fine Detroit Police Chief and Deputy Mayor James Craig. Right now, it's our WJR Traffic and Weather First and Dana Clark.
Accident along 96 eastbound at Wixom Road. It is blocking the right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel.
A little cooler here to start off the work week. Mostly sunny skies today. A light north to northeast breeze. Upper 60s to near 70 this afternoon. Clear, cool tonight, 48. Sunny and low 70s Tuesday. Partly cloudy, upper 70s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Tune into the Rich Paul Show Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Mondays at 7 p.m. This week on the program, equal and opposite reactions, as well as a financial trip to the financial doctor. All that and more on the Rich Paul Show Saturdays at 9 a.m., Mondays at 7 p.m. here on WJR.
Hey guys, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty here for Pain Free Life Centers. And one thing you know about me, I'm always going to shoot you straight. And guys, frankly, I've been all around the world, talked to many supposed experts telling me how they can help me deal with pain. And it wasn't until I found Pain-Free Life Centers that they told me the truth. I've never experienced what I experienced here at Pain-Free Life Centers in Troy. It's high dosage, high intensity laser treatment that works at the cellular level, which means it gets right to the source of the pain. No drugs, no injections, no surgeries, no side effects, and no kidding, I haven't felt this good since I buried that turtle back in 97. Wherever your pain is, don't let it limit you any longer. Take control of your life. Make your appointment. Call 248-879-1100 or go to painfreelifecenters.com.
When your home or business is damaged, it leaves you feeling vulnerable. Before you do anything else, call our partners at EJH Construction. EJH has earned our trust here at WJR, and they will earn yours too. For over 50 years, property owners have trusted EJH in emergencies. The experts at EJH will guide you through the entire process from the moment you discover property damage until you move back in. Call EJH 1-800-854-4534 or visit EJHconstruction.com.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. Every day we go above and beyond to make sure we are Crestview Cadillac clean. This month, we have a big selection of Cadillacs with equipment you want. Find yours now at CrestviewCadillac.com, and we'll deliver it to you today, sanitized. We do a ton of GM employee pricing. My price will be unmatched. You'll see. And I want to service your
what you need.
right here. We have 30-minute oil changes.
We haven't heard from the chief. I don't have word from Brian that we've heard from the chief yet.
CrestviewCadillac.com.
At Fisher Investments,
We won't
do
have
things
Frank then, I guess.
other money managers
Oh.
don't understand why.
He's actually out at the Ted Lindsay
It
outing.
may not work for your clients.
He's at
That's
the golf
why
club
Fisher
today.
Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
Provide cookie cutter portfolios like
Chief
the
is
rest of
there,
us.
Dubster.
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher
you're good.
Investments
Chief's good to
tailors
go.
portfolios to meet
Very
each
good,
client's
thank you.
goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
You're hearing The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
I appreciate so much this next guest. I appreciate all of our guests, but standing by, coming on now, our fabulous Detroit Police Chief and Deputy Mayor James Craig. Chief, I don't know how you keep your wits about you. I don't know how you're able to recruit any police officers anymore, and that goes for around the country. When we have police officers in an assassination attempt while they sit in their car, and this has happened before, but here it goes again, and then to have people go to the hospital where these officers have been taken and chanting, "We hope they die." These officers weren't involved in anything bad. There were no questionable tactics. They were sitting in their car. And just because they're police officers, we have a faction of people, small though they may be, they're loud, chanting, "They should die. We hope they die." And before that, they were already in place blocking the hospital entrance when the ambulances transporting the two wounded officers arrived. They tried to keep the officers from getting medical help. I don't know how you get out of bed in the morning, Chief. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Paul W. And as always, appreciate you allowing me to come on your show and talk about these real serious issues. You know, Paul, I got to tell you, this is plain despicable. And what's unfortunate, and you said it best, the officers were sitting in their car, and this coward comes up and fires two shots in. Unprovoked, fires two shots, striking these officers. Fortunately, I'm told that they're out of surgery, of course, and it looks like they're going to recover. To what extent, we don't know, but it's a tragic situation. But, you know, these same individuals, the other set of cowards, those who blocked the entrance and exit to the hospital, there are some that will have you believe that these are just simply peaceful protesters, Chief. They have a right to their First Amendment, and they do have a right to their First Amendment, but you don't get to block an emergency entranceway to a hospital. Now you've crossed the line. And I get that the LA County Sheriff made an appeal. But what that comes down to is one basic thing. You advise them, disperse now or you will be arrested. This is not the time for patience, because it's not just the police officers that have to come to the hospital to be treated. What about other people from the community? And we call them peaceful protesters? So I think they would find a way, as you've heard me say, Paul W., that they would twist the narrative. They would twist it and say in some kind of way, these two police officers, not even 14 months since they've been sworn in. One is a mother. They would find a way to twist the narrative and say, those bad police officers provoked this. Because that's what they're masterful at. Deceit. It's tragic. And don't think it couldn't happen here by some. We've heard the rhetoric during their rallies about we need to escalate from nonviolent protests to violent protests, violent attacks against our police officers. And again, I'm going to say it right now, Paul W. This does not reflect everybody who's marching. We know the vast majority of the marches have been peaceful. We know that the vast majority tend to be nonviolent. But we got to call it what it is. There are some that are embedded that are focused on one thing: attack police officers.
Well, as much as the institutional media wants to hide that from everybody, everybody sees it now. You can't avoid seeing all the problems across the country that are way beyond people exercising their constitutional right to protest. Your constitutional right to protest does not include burning buildings, looting buildings, throwing things at the police officers. It is a very, very bad time to be a cop, and an unbelievable time to see officers being pelted with frozen water bottles and nails and spikes and bricks and everything else and not responding. That's astonishing to me.
It is, Paul. I mean, I've been in this business, you hear me say it all the time, 44 years. I've never seen a time like this. I know when I was a young police officer here in Detroit in the late 70s, there was a different way, and certainly this would not have happened. You know, but I take my hat off to these men and women who are courageous and calm, remain professional. And, you know, this is not a dismissive attitude as one elected leader would have you believe, because anytime there's an allegation of illegal conduct by a police officer, I've never shied away from doing what was right. Never, not once. But I am going to support our police officers when they do it right, and the vast majority of them do it right each and every day.
And the Detroit Police Department does it right each and every day. And if you didn't, I would talk about it. But you do, as far as I know. And beyond that, you have a federal judge, I don't know, but certainly she doesn't know, and it doesn't seem to matter, who puts out basically a restraining order and tells you how you and the Detroit police can respond to rioters, basically.
Well, as I indicated, you know, when the order was put out, it changes nothing. We're going to continue to do our job, and certainly we will use that force that's necessary. We don't want to use force, but if necessary, if our officers are under attack, if their vehicles are surrounded and the vehicle is being damaged and attacked while the police officers are inside, I'm not going to expect the officers just to sit there. That's unrealistic. But one of the big issues that I find in this whole conversation is there's just not enough individuals who sit in positions of elected leadership who are speaking out and boldly denouncing this violence. That's what's got to happen, Paul W. This is not a whining or finger pointing. It's a well-known fact. And so it's just not enough of it. There are some that speak up, but there needs to be more, because we have got to be unified with this one message. This is our city, and we're not going to let you come in here and take over.
Chief, it's not just our city. It's our country. And the silent or silenced majority has got to speak up. And now's the time. It's now or never. Chief James Craig, Deputy Mayor James Craig, thank you. God bless you and all the hardworking men and women you represent. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, God bless you, Paul. Thank you again.
Always. We're out of time. We're gone. Stand by for news. And the Frank Beckman Show once again helping out, fighting autism and being with the Ted Lindsay Foundation at their golf outing. And we're looking forward to hearing that. You go on out, make it a great rest of the day. Please wish Jamie well in the Toledo Open. We got our fingers crossed. It's a grind out there trying to work hard as a pro golfer, and we follow him best we can. We'll let you know how it went tomorrow morning. Regards, Paul W. Smith.
This report is sponsored by Dell.
Dell's semi-annual sale is on with up to 45% off business laptops
luck,
and Dell.
have fun.
I'll look for everything else and try to anything you can send tonight would be helpful because I could get it printed.
Sure.
I could get it printed ahead of time, better than going down in the morning and trying to. And I gave Brian the address to the email address to send it to, and so he can pass that along to you as well.
Sure.
And anything he can get ahead of time, even if he can get the day in history. I know he can't get the commercials, I don't think, but any of that's helpful.
Okay. Yeah, we can do it. I'll get it going now.
And I will, when I come in back from the golf, I'll find out if they have anything down there at their email. But if it's on my email as well, on Kim's email and my email, then I'll send it down to them and ask them to print it.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. I'll do that now. I'll get going.
Thanks for your best wishes.
luck.
I think it went well. I think it went well today.
It went great.
I
It's
think
nice when I can see you and I can pop in and out.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And as Patrick says, good luck to Jamie. Great show. And all of our listeners who